Hello!
Hello!
Hi everyone, my name is Joe Barnard.
And I'm Charlie Garcia.
And welcome to Cooking with Joey B, featuring...
Charlie Garcia.
Alright, we're here in Charlie's kitchen today, and we're here to cook some food. Charlie, you want to tell us what we're going to be doing today?
I think we're cooking food. Do you think we're doing something different, Joe?
No, that's kind of what I expected.
Do you know what food we're cooking?
We're cooking some type of chicken thing. As the intro suggested, I knew it had chicken, and I think it has pasta involved as well.
Well, those are the two ingredients we have in the refrigerator and in my cabinet. So if we want anything else, we're in a spot of bother.
Okay. Well, how should we get started here? Well, let's see. Can everyone hear us all right? Is everything good?
Overexposed. Oh, sorry, we're too shiny.
Here's the deal about the overexposure. Let me move this light. The deal is as follows. Charlie's kitchen has all these black cabinets, and we just have a regular webcam, so it's hard. That's going to have to do. It's a little overexposed, but that'll be okay.
We'll fix it in post.
All right, we've got Drew, Fred, J.R. Kraft, Leo, Drac, Adam, Casey, Ender, Aether, Holden, K9, Tyson, Pure Salt, Arsenio. Lots of people here today.
That's all the names.
That's everyone, and I've missed no one. All right.
I think the first thing we have to do is get the chicken out.
Let's do that. The chicken is in the refrigerator, and now it is not.
Very successful.
Wow, great.
And the other thing we need is a bag. So you cut the chicken open while I find a plastic bag.
Okay. I'm also unfamiliar with this kitchen, so this is going to be great.
I think it can't possibly go worse than me in your kitchen.
Do we need to wash this? I feel like we need to wash the chicken. Is that a thing?
I guess we can, yeah. That's a thing that can be done. You can wash it in this one, which is vaguely.
Can someone look up if you're supposed to wash raw chicken before you cook it?
So there's nominally some science associated with cooking chicken, which is that you want to make it nice and tender and juicy.
Can you open the trash can?
Yes, I can open the trash can.
Okay, right, so there's some science.
So we want to concoct a slightly acidic salve to open up the chicken. So if you could arrange the chicken to get washed and placed in the bag.
We were supposed to marinate this several hours ago, right?
No, we can live with that. This will
okay.
This will work. So we need some ingredients. This is...
The stream is...
Is it suffering?
The stream is coming in and out here.
Don't wash the chicken.
Don't wash?
Do not wash the chicken. Pat dry only. All right. Don't wash the chicken.
Wow. I always thought you were supposed to. Huh. Okay.
Tyson, great thought and highly topical name, but I don't have a tenderizer. Okay, so this is lemon juice, and then we want olive oil and salt, which is all of the useful things.
I'm gonna move for
in this mixture
too, so that we can get a little bit more of.
Oh, is that the idea?
Well, it just seems like we're kind of closer to this side of this screen here.
All right. Well.
Yeah, that looks good.
Shiny.
Well. Does anyone see the stream dropping out every now and then? It seems like that's maybe just going to be an inevitability.
Okay, so the chicken gets apparently patted dry and placed in here.
Okay.
And then we add the other things.
It spreads bacteria. Okay, right. You risk spreading bacteria. So everyone wants me to not wash the chicken. I'm going to pat it dry.
Well, in this coronavirus age, spreading bacteria and/or viruses is a highly topical thing to not do.
We don't love that journey for anyone. Okay. So...
Except for the bacteria, which...
Right. We love the journey of the bacteria not being here. I'm going to pat this dry, and we're going to put it in the bag.
I'm going to do this?
I don't know what the...
Science?
Is that how we bread it?
All right.
It's in the bag.
There we go. Excellent.
Okay. Chicken number 2. What's everyone doing tonight? Apart from watching this excellent cooking show.
There's nothing wrong with this cooking show.
10 out of 10 doctors rate this. Why did you call me about this show? All right, we got one more. Pat it dry, and we're done. This goes in the trash.
I have a bag of chicken. If we were going to tenderize the chicken, now would be the time to do it. But we're not going to do that. So instead, we're going to pour in equal parts olive oil and lemon juice. There we go. Excellent. This is excellent. And lemon juice. And then by adding salt, you...
we are dropping a lot of frames.
Are all the frames going away?
There's a portion of them that just does not exist. Let's see.
Is it the internet or the bit rate?
It's the bit rate, which then causes the frames to drop. It's not the computer. The CPU usage is pretty low. Honestly, I don't think there's a whole lot we can do about it right now. Where's your router?
I don't have one.
Oh, right.
I live in sci-fi world where we have communal internet.
That is a thing, isn't it? Well, there's not much we can do. You can take it or leave it. It's a free cooking show. So, all right.
We're gonna add the lemon juice.
This is a pro gamer move here. I never buy my lemon juice in that large of a quantity.
And then salt, which helps the uptake of the things into the chicken.
I'm gonna up the saturation a little bit.
That's very salty. And that's how this works. So now you close it and you just like do this.
Do a little one of those.
Yeah, you massage the chicken. I'm gonna stop talking now.
Let's do some trivia. In what year did is Henry Hoover a president?
Yeah.
In what year was Henry Hoover president?
Maybe we should start by knowing the answer to that, Joe.
No.
Ask the internet.
Everyone start shouting it out, and I'm gonna look it up. Don't look it up though.
That feels vaguely hypocritical.
No, I get to do this. I'm running the stream. I make the rules.
1969 is not the answer. Hoover was before that. I don't know. When was Hoover?
Okay, I know the answer now.
1840s.
No.
1880s. Nope, it has to be before that.
Just a little bit.
What was the presidential election? So there would have been a presidential election in 1900. So it would have been 84, would have been 80, 72 or 76.
79. Very close. That was good reasoning. He was 31st president of the United States from 1929 to 1930.
Wait, so
I read the wrong number.
I was much righter the first time.
You were very right the first time. So, okay, so who was the first person to get 1929? Let's take a little look here.
Okay.
Nathan Kearns is close. J.R. Kraft has it, I think. And Ethan Angel got really close with 1928, but J.R. Kraft has it with the range of dates 1929 to 1933. Thanks for joining the stream where we cook food and talk about U.S. presidents.
These.
I want to make an announcement here that in Charlie's cabinet he has the Vienna sausages from the last time that we did cooking with Joey B. They're almost certain.
I cook a roast consultations fairly more often than I'm on cooking shows with Joe Barnard. So we're gonna, in like true cooking show fashion, we're gonna like set this to the side for later.
Right. I'm afraid we don't have any cutscenes this show.
Yeah, I had to work today.
Yeah, Charlie was at work and I didn't feel like it, so that's kind of how that worked out.
Okay, so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna make the like breading, which I have like a recipe for that I don't hate, but Joe might hate.
Here's the deal. Your boy can't eat a whole lot of gluten. And it's weird because he can eat some gluten, but like there is some threshold where it just gets out of control. Oh boy, we're losing bits with the rate again. Here we go. Are we coming back? I think we're coming back. All right. Can everyone see me? Yeah, I think we're doing okay now.
So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna have like a little grab bag of things. Can they see this? They can kind of see this.
It's hard to tell.
They can see it better if it's farther back. Okay, so what we do, we got like a grab bag of things that I like to put in my breading. Wow, that slideshow. I feel like we should just like wait it out.
Yeah, let's wait it out. Wait it out, everyone.
Just
gonna pass.
Deep breaths, meditate on slides.
Do you think
It alternates between good and bad frames. So if we can find out the frequency of the bad frames and then apply a Fourier transform in Simulink,
we can work backwards?
Add an LQR to kill the bad frames before they go to the internet. That's how controls work, right, Joe?
Oh, that's
Right?
exactly how they work.
Did I say all the right words in the right order?
You got it. You did it. It's
Okay,
just like me
excellent.
explaining G-fold.
I feel like you probably did a better job explaining G-fold than I did
Let's
that
see
phrase right there.
if it's really the internet. The laptop is slowing down considerably, but I don't think that is. This has to do with the upload speed. I'm gonna stop recording and see if that helps.
That's good.
I wonder if it's. It wouldn't like be throttling. Could it be the? Okay, we are at 0. Oh my gosh. Internet should just work. And yet, it does not. I wonder if it's... The speed is fine. Maybe it's that we pull too much all at once. If we go down to 4,000...
This is what happened the last time I streamed.
Really?
Yeah, it started off good, and then it just
like died.
Well, I thought it was my computer dying.
Let's see. So, okay, I lowered the bit rate. We'll see if we drop.
It's still a frame.
Let's give it a second to stabilize here. I lowered the audio bit rate and every other part of the bit rate.
Oh, that got better.
Well,
Yeah, Hernandez. That's cool that you know Ender. Ender is an awesome and one of my favorite people on the planet. Ender is wonderful.
did it seem to oscillate in and out for the last stream that you tried? Like, is this...
It was,
is
it
this
was oscillating in and out if it also had like a constant time-dependent term that decayed.
Huh. Okay, it looks okay now. And then it just drops.
Oh, Delta says much better.
Much
Nope,
better.
It just unbettered.
I wonder if it's someone else on the network doing something crazy.
That seems unlikely, but possible.
It really drops to nothing, like temporarily. Are there any other... Okay, network utility should tell me what else is going on, right? No, I don't think it will.
They say it's better now. It looks fixed. Nope. Back to every time I look, it goes back. Oh no, it's much better now. Okay, I think we might have it.
Okay, and I'm on
Nope,
the right.
and there we go. Then it died again.
You know what, Charlie? Can I try your regular?
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm so
the
sorry. I
Wi-Fi?
should have
I'm
given you
on
that
the,
before this.
The guest account.
Can you go to like an intro so I don't give the entire planet my log on?
No, I do have. Don't you have a piece of paper with it?
Yes.
Okay.
If you go to that piece of paper, there are instructions.
Okay, stand by. We're gonna try a new technique.
We've got this. We have an idea.
Okay.
Using the science of internet and pieces of paper.
Streaming. Let's see if we come back. It is very intermittent. There is internet.
That appears to be streaming bits. Oh.
Okay. Can anyone see what's happening? And does it look somewhat stable?
No. We're at like a third of a frame per second. Oh, no.
If we refresh, we should be...
That's you refreshing right there.
Okay.
Latency is both low and...
Is it working? We're kind of hanging out
We're
at
back.
like the right bit rate.
Hey.
Just the camera. I want to go a little higher with it. All right. The bit rate seems okay. Does it look all right to everyone?
We're getting about 3.6 pixels.
Can I get a yes, chef? All right. I don't know what the deal is with your internet here, Mr. Garcia. But I think it might be fixed.
You're getting yes, chefs, so it's not the end of the world. And I'm really hungry. Like, I haven't had any food
let's
since
cook.
breakfast.
Let's
so
cook.
I'm cooking.
All right.
So we've got these plastic bags of things, and we're going to put an assortment of things in them. And I have suggestions for what tastes good, but like, you do you?
Yeah. Okay, so we're each going to do our own.
That way, yeah, we'll
That way-
we'll do yours first, and then there's no gluten, and then
It'll be a little
there'll be no
shootout.
problems. Yeah. And then we can decide whose is tastier. Spoiler alert, it'll be mine.
All right. If we skipped a couple of frames there, I'm a little worried this is not going to be an issue that stays
we
going.
like have post-stream stress disorder.
All right, ready? So what are we doing?
So I usually start with the brown sugar, which is my like secret ingredient.
This is a really cool
Isn't it?
seal.
It's awesome.
Yeah, this is very neat.
So I start with brown sugar, and not like that much, but like enough that it's like tasty.
Is that the tasty threshold?
That was like a little much, maybe. That was kind of, I got a little excited there.
Okay, I'm gonna crush mine up a little bit. Okay, a little bit of. That's not a little.
K9 Rocket Technologies wants to know if this is like most cooking shows where the food is done before they start filming.
No, it is not. This is a real cooking show. We are authentic here on Cooking with Joey.
You are seeing this live in real time.
This train wreck is
we discovered.
unfolding. Okay, that's I mean, it's okay. That's more than yours. Great. Well, it's gonna be really sweet, isn't it?
You're making up for all the flour you're not adding.
Yeah, this is a direct substitute. It's brown sugar.
That's how that works. I've forgotten that.
Yeah.
Okay. So then I add pepper, like some.
I'm going to add more than that.
Go for it. And then salt.
Not knowing or ever eating this meal before, I've decided more pepper is needed.
Because your arteries love you for it.
They do.
Okay.
The salt helps you fight the coronavirus.
So then this is like...
That's not a great joke.
So here on Cooking with Joey B, featuring Charlie Garcia, we attempt to avoid propagating scientific inaccuracies.
Yep, no,
Like-
it does not.
Rocket Lab does not burn to depletion, or the world is flat.
We should all know, by the way, I made
Joe's right.
Okay, Rocket Lab does burn their tanks to depletion, and yesterday on the car ride from Tucson to Charlie's place, Charlie was like, there's no way they burn to depletion. And then he started to convince me, so I realized I must be wrong, right? It's Charlie. He's right.
Guilty.
So I made him record an apology video in the car while I was driving, and I apologized for being wrong. But it will never see the light of day now because I was right, because Peter Beck told me I was right.
That's a hard source to argue with. I tweeted something along the lines of, it would be absolutely unique if they did that.
And they do.
It is absolutely unique, so I guess I was still not wrong.
Yeah.
I will technically be not wrong. So then I have rosemary. Rosemary is like my favorite thing on chicken. I freaking love rosemary on chicken.
So you wanna really blend it together then? That's the goal.
And then I go for some oregano because oregano just smells good.
Bro, I have a lot of brown sugar in here.
Yeah, and then
Oregano is very good.
you've got like your seasoning. And then if you're a functional human being with the digestive tract that exists,
All right.
you add flour. And if you're not, you add
It is unclear what you add.
cornmeal.
Do you have cornmeal?
Do I have cornmeal? I'm gonna guess the answer to that is no. I have lasagna.
will not be adding lasagna. To my
Popcorn?
chicken. No.
Bisquick. Rice.
Honestly, no. The biscuit is flour. You know what? This is going to be great. I am sure it's going to work just fine, and it will cause
And
no
there's going to
problems.
be no problems?
Yeah.
You could like grind up, no, that probably also has flour.
How much flour are you adding?
Like 2/3 by volume.
Okay. I'm going to add a little bit.
Okay.
We'll see. We'll see how that works out for me. Sometimes you got to take a risk.
Nothing could possibly go wrong.
Yeah. All right. It really seems, I don't mean to jinx it, but it really seems stable now. It feels like we're in a point of your Wi-Fi connection that is stable. So I'm going to take my chances here and up the bit rate.
They want to know when your next KSP stream is.
Oh, geez. I don't know. If you are very persistent about it on Twitter, I could probably do one this week. I go home and then I go back traveling again for a little bit. But then I'm home for a while. All right. The bitrate has risen. Things are still holding pretty well. And I'm going to move the camera again. As far as cheap tripods go, this one is really good.
Really, actually, and I'm very sad. I left my other one of that in Kodiak.
Oh,
Yeah, take an L.
that's going to be hard to get.
Can we get more regular Cooking with Joey B's?
Yeah, that would be good. My goal was once a month, and so far I have missed that by 2 months.
No, you haven't. You have a January, and you have a
No,
March.
but I have like early early January. I've missed at least 1 month.
And if we were like a little earlier with this, you would have gotten to February. So just hit the end of March, and and February is like not even a full month, so it doesn't even count. I mean, we could safely ignore it, right?
Yeah, it's a fake month.
The chicken needs an oxidizer.
It does not. No, it doesn't.
We could mix in some oxidizing fluids to the chicken.
Let's get a little bit of flour in here. Did you just
here's a spoon and just be creative.
Let's chance it. Okay, so how much did you put like a decent amount of
I
flour?
put in like a decent amount of flour.
I just am worried that there's going to be no sticking at all.
The sticking is not the problem. It will stay because we've got it all like the chicken is now soggy.
Okay.
The other thing you can do is you can bulk it up with like more rosemary, I guess.
Yeah,
It smells so good. I love rosemary. Rosemary is just like amazing. Like holy cow, rosemary.
That's me, but with oregano.
There's oregano right there too.
You know what? Here's the thing. This is already going to be fine because of how much brown sugar I have, which, as we aforementioned, is a direct substitute for flour.
Right, I've forgotten that. Okay.
All right.
Arsenio would like to volunteer for Cooking with Joey B. Feet, not Charlie.
Feet, not Charlie. Well, we got to have the guests on. When Trevor Mallman came by, I really wanted to do a Cooking Joey B with him, but he was like exhausted after his drive, and I was not going to make him do that. Cooking Joey B is an energy draining event.
Is it? I didn't realize that. Someone forgot to tell me. Okay, so that's that, and then that's that. So now we need to get the platter ready to grill the chicken. We'll make the chicken on.
Okay.
So, in the only pre-planned activity of the evening, the oven is preheated.
Yes, it is.
Which is the only thing we prepared in advance.
Charlie, we forgot to pregame, I'm realizing.
Well,
take
we
care of
have
that.
2 options for alcohol. We have wine
Yes.
and beer.
Your wine rack looks very sad, and I would not want to deplete it.
Well, it's actually brand new, and it's just getting started. So if you like what you drink, I can procure more of it.
Let's do this. Let's pull. Are any of those bottles up for grabs?
Yeah.
Okay. We're gonna let
Except
the
for
chat.
the non-alcoholic one.
Okay. We're gonna let the chat pick what bottle we open.
Okay.
Is that
Yeah.
acceptable?
Uh-huh.
By the CGS kitchen. This is Ménage à Trois.
Which, yes, we do know what that means. Thank you, comments section.
My parents also love it, and I'm not entirely convinced they know what it means. Okay, we have Ménage à Trois, which I know is a good wine and have had. We have the Bellagio Rosso Dolce.
That's a sweet wine. Like, that's like...
Sweet berry wine. This one looks cool. Okay. Which one is the non-alcoholic one?
the one on the left.
Okay. So we only have 3 bottles here. And then we have Lapis Luna, which has moon in the name, which we love. So,
I love that journey for you.
here are our 3 options, right? You know what? Here's what we're gonna do. Watch this little pro gamer move right here.
Set up like a lineup. All right.
Yeah, here it is.
So everyone can see my dirty kitchen.
This is the move. Okay, these are the bottles. I'm gonna try to set them up nicely. You need to vote for which one we open. So, this one right here. Which one?
That's the Dulce.
Yeah. Okay. This is 1. This is 2. And this is 3. So put it in the chat. 1, 2, or 3. Which one do we open? This is 1, 2, and 3. And we will see what people come up with. 2, 3, 3, 2. I think no one wants the 1.
3 seems to be...
Okay. The 2 is going away after the preliminary results are in. The exit polls are coming in.
CNN is calling it for 3.
We're gonna call the race at 3, I think. Before all of the votes have been counted, it's gonna be very tough for 2 to pull ahead in this game. All right.
4 is making a late comeback.
4 is the non-alcoholic option.
Honestly, I'd be down. I gotta be up at like 8 a.m. But the stream will be a lot more fun with 3.
Yeah, no, this is good.
So that is the Italian. No, that is not the Italian.
Okay. Look at this! It's got a little moon on it. Oh my gosh! It's got a little moon. This was a good choice. Good job, everyone. It has a little moon on it.
Congratulations on your selection.
Yeah, good job. All right, you've got the glasses. Do you have a bottle opener?
I do have a bottle opener.
That's kind of necessary.
I'm going to get so tipsy so quickly because I've had no food since like 7 a.m.
I haven't had a lot of food, but I feel like I'm probably doing better than you.
It's like driving into work this morning when like I get like a call from like one of the companies we work with, and I'm like,
yeah.
And all of a sudden I went from being like, I'm eating breakfast to like, I'm on business. And it's like one of the great things about being a functional adult, which I'm going to lay claim to, being a functional adult.
You have a kitchen with an island, which means you are. Oh, it's not an island. It's technically a peninsula.
It's a peninsula.
Yeah. You're almost a functioning adult. You need an island.
If we're going by this metric, am I allowed to judge you?
Oh, yes. Yes, no, that counts. I should not have screwed this so far in. There we go. That was harder than I thought it would be. This is sort of a theme on Cooking with Joey, but you had a tremendous amount of difficulty with the sangria bottle.
Yes.
You like cut your hand in 2 different places.
It was a lot more than 2 different places. It was like I was slightly gored. Let's ask Charlie strange questions. Oh dear, this sounds dangerous. Why?
All right, yeah, let's do it. Strange questions.
Oh no, wait.
They can't be like wildly inappropriate.
Is Joe now representing the chat?
Sometimes I'm on the chat side, and I'll side with them on this one. And we reserve the right to answer none of them. That's the rule.
I can tell the internet for a fact that I'm not rich because I spend all my money on rocket parts.
Yes.
If we want to make the stream instantly more popular, we can go get some rocket parts from the other room and bring them in here.
I think that's a good idea, actually. Should I do that? I can get a fin. The fin is pretty cool.
You can get the fin, yeah.
All right.
No, I'm not doxing myself on the internet. Thank you very much.
That falls into the category of bad idea for a lot of reasons. This is a fin, which is cool. It's aluminum, and it is very light. And for someone who's not super familiar with aluminum, or at least like doesn't work with it all of the time, it's surprisingly light. What are your expected airspeeds?
On this rocket, this is Mach 3-ish.
Okay.
So on the topic of Joey B and aluminum, Joe has volunteered to machine one part a week on his mill and make a video about it.
I forgot.
Joe, can we get a comment on how you feel about that comment you made last night?
I fully lost the memory of me saying that, and now I have regained it, and I did.
So what's the first part you're gonna make when you get home, Joe?
Okay. Something that definitely needs to happen is an aluminum reaction wheel. Right now, the reaction wheel on Sprint is PLA. It's just straight up 3D printed. And that's a pretty easy part to mill because it's just like a 1 or 2-sided thing. And it totally fits on the dimensions of the mill too. So it's like, I think, an easy win.
So, in case you were actually curious about the cooking instead of the rockets, we are laying the chicken out on a aluminum foil baking sheet.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we're gonna sprinkle the
exactly
the dust,
the
brown sugar dust. Let's get some questions. Can you do rocket ASMR? No. I will not be doing that tonight. Sprint has reaction wheels? Yes, it does. Just one, and it's just a control roll. And it works pretty well. It seems like we have forgotten the strange questions topic, but that's okay. I think Charlie would agree that is okay.
I have no arguments with this occurrence.
All right, I think it's probably about time to sprinkle these, right?
Yeah, so
Is that what's going on?
How much chicken do you want on your pasta?
Probably just one of those.
Then we will make one of these for you, and I will happily claim the other 3 as leftovers for future evenings.
Yeah, it doesn't seem likely that I would need more than one of these. Like with the pasta. All right.
Turn an outdoor coal drill into a rocket.
No ASMR.
So funny story, and I think I can say this because the project ended up dying. I was briefly a part of a media group that was attempting to put together a rocket TV show where they gave people money and sent them to a Goodwill with the instructions to build a rocket. And it was really quite a lot of fun.
When was this? This was not recent, right?
17 months ago?
I feel like I didn't hear about this. I feel like I've been deprived critical information. By the way, also, someone asks, who are you wearing, Joe? Today, ladies and gentlemen, I am wearing TJ Cooney of I Need More Space, the YouTube channel. He has great videos. He had a video up today that was a summary of Elon Musk's talk at Satellite 2020.
That dude looked tired.
Yeah, man.
Holy cow.
He be not having the sleep. But
I sometimes when he'd come back from Tesla, he'd look a little like that, but not that like that.
He said he was late. He was 30 minutes late, and apparently it was, I was in Boca Chica, sorry. So I think he flew to DC and then most likely flew back.
Ian Ross, if you have everything planned out, you don't need suggestions.
What does he have planned out? Oh, a liquid rocket engine. Oh boy. Well, okay. Charlie.
No.
What?
No liquid rocket, right?
No, we're not talking about that.
Oh, okay. Not that. Got it.
Not talking about that.
Not that.
We're talking about who are you wearing today, Charlie?
I'm wearing Tim Dodd, the everyday astronaut, who gave me this care package of free swag, which is really cool of him. Delta II is one of my favorite rockets, not for some practical reason, but because it's this pretty shade of blue.
I didn't realize it's truly just the colors of the Delta II. That's all it is.
Mm-hmm.
It says nothing about the Delta II.
Yep. It's like a walking advertisement for Tim, which is cool. He's a cool guy.
Yeah.
Funny story. I also have the video that I made that I was going to release at the same time as the Aerospike video I did with Tim.
Right.
Maybe that gets the unfinished cut.
Just upload it?
Nah, we'll see. Maybe we'll see how that plays.
Are you trying to say we should just play it on the stream?
Just 3 minutes of it.
Yeah, I could do that.
We can see. We'll see. Maybe.
It's a real easy setup in OBS. Tell you what, even though it crashes half of the time.
We'll have to download it from Dropbox.
Yeah. This wine is very good.
I'm actually quite pleasantly surprised with this.
As someone who can mostly tell the difference between a red and a white, I like it.
That it feels like entry-level wine discernation.
It feels like 4th grade, this is what colors are. All right. That's when you learn about colors,
So,
right?
you know,
It's
I
fourth grade.
missed over 90 days of 4th grade. Just like medical incompetence, like I was a sick child.
I'm gonna take this one, by the way.
Yeah, go for it. That was the plan, vaguely.
Medical incompetence.
Yes, I was not a functional human being. My body didn't know how to like be a body. So I just didn't go to school for most of 4th grade.
That is
That's great fun.
suboptimal. Unless you're a kid. In which case, I think it's cool for like probably about a week, and then a lot less cool when you don't get to see your friends every day.
Something like that.
Yeah.
It worked out okay. I managed to not flunk out of math.
You've done, I guess, what some would call okay. All right.
Well, in the satellite talk, Elon was ragging on college.
Oh, yeah.
And like people were like very surprised. I'm like, of the people I knew at SpaceX, like I knew a ton of people who didn't go to college. I knew a lot of people who were self-taught. I knew like several people who like lived out of a van and like built projects before they got hired at SpaceX. So like, yeah, the rule was, can you do the work? And if the answer was yes, SpaceX would hire you.
Projects are the thing to do, man.
Yeah.
That is projects are not a requirement, so it shows more initiative than, or it's not a necessarily as much of a social norm as college. I speak as if I like really know this whole field well, but that's my vibe on it. All right, should we do some more trivia?
Oh, go for it.
What kind of trivia? Let's do rocket trivia. Here's some trivia. Charlie, this one's for you.
Oh no. All right, danger zone.
Does the Electron burn its first stage tanks all the way to depletion and, as one prominent space person put it, suck them dry?
Well, I didn't take the probably burn dry, but I'm sure they still have some propellant residuals in their plumbing.
No, I'm sure you're right. Like, it cannot possibly be 100% dry. There's lots of, like, stuff on the inside of the tank that would also keep propellant from not being gone. Or from being gone. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Why do I keep walking over here?
I don't know, why do you keep walking
over
over there?
It's over there.
So now the trick is you like flip
Mm-hmm. Flip.
and then burn.
I'm realizing we don't have a great view of the chicken, but I honestly, I'm doubtful that there are a ton of people who watch this exclusively just to see the chicken. Can you flip mine as well, please?
Yeah, the chicken is like as overexposed as like any segment of pixels could possibly be.
The chicken is, what is it? What's the color code for white? It's like 0FFFFFFF. All right. We've dropped a couple of frames, but it still seems like relatively solid.
We're doing this is like much stronger than it was not that long ago.
Not too bad. Maybe it was someone on the network just being like, I will have all of the internet right now.
Like, where do we sign up for that option?
I command to have all of the internet.
So I have like a full smart home setup. I have like smart light bulbs, Google Home, all the things. And they just do not play nice with the internet here. It took like multiple weeks to get them to connect to the internet, which was how difficult that was. So I definitely think like I maybe went a little light on the brown sugar. Yours is looking more like how this normally looks when I do this.
Oh, a little light on the brown sugar, huh?
I think Joe's getting the better of me today and yesterday.
It's gonna be some very sweet chicken, I'll tell you what. Would you like some of my brown sugar and flour?
I actually will take that.
Yeah, it's got a good amount of rosemary too, so it should like match up.
I'll take that.
All right, let's get some more. Can someone ask us trivia questions?
This sounds dangerous.
Does it work in the reverse way? And they have. Okay, so this is rocket trivia
we definitely
questions.
don't have Google, so.
Yeah, no, we do not have access to the internet. I'm so sorry. They have to be. I'll give some rules. I think anything space related is good, and that's the rule. Let's see. When did you start your culinary career? Asks K9 Rocket Technologies. I started it when my parents got me a slow cooker like 5 years ago, and slow cooking is my favorite type of cooking because it doesn't require a whole lot of effort.
So now this is the other secret to getting like nice and like tender, juicy chicken, which is you just then kind of like
Oh yeah.
this
Hold on, wait. Don't do it all yet.
Okay. Oh.
Let's do a little. Let's see. Let's see if I can make this work.
Oh boy.
All right, here we go. This is what we're making. This is what was completely blown out. It looks pretty good, man. This is a nice webcam.
I've been decently pleased with this webcam. And the audio is also pretty great.
How much was it?
I don't know, like $30 from a Best Buy.
This is better than like a lot of the webcams that I have tried to like what I really want is a webcam with regular camera quality, and for whatever reason they just do not make that. I don't know why.
I think they're like mostly intended to do like Skype things, which do not receive regular camera quality.
Right. Man, the bitrate is still pretty good.
How many flight-worthy Saturn V rockets were built, and how many of those flew?
Okay, who has to answer? Can we also specify which person has to answer?
Well, I think we should work together. I think we should team up for the answers, right? So there were planned to be 20.
Okay.
So there was Apollo 4 was a Saturn V flight.
That was the first, with no water deluge, right?
And then Apollo 8, 9.
No, there were 6, 5, 6, 7 were Saturn 1.
Yep. So 4, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Is that, hold on, sorry, 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, that's 5.
12, 13, 14, 15, 16, that's 10.
And then there's
17,
a boost, there's a full Saturn V.
No, 17, Apollo 17, and then Skylab. That is 12 Saturn V's that flew.
And there were more that were built,
yes.
right? There were at least 2 more.
At least 2 more built, and I think 3, because there's one in Kennedy, one in Houston, and one in Huntsville. So that's 15. I think there were 15 Saturn V's built, and 12 of them flew. Final answer.
I'm trusting Charlie's judgment on this, so I submit that as yeah, that's a final answer. I'm also
Happy to chat.
15. How many RS-25s have been built? That one's more difficult.
Leo Duran, Sergei Korolev. Just easy one.
How many rockets did Joe build? Gotta be at least 3.
Echo, Scout, and Relay, right?
It really is so hard to classify how many they are, because so many of them just like share all of their avionics. And
So I really want to know. No, 15 were built and 13 flew. 6 was also a Saturn V. And the Huntsville one is a test article. They got me.
Yeah.
I got
the Huntsville one is the 500F? I think that's the name of it. All right, pretty good. Uh-oh. Bitrate is struggling.
Alright. So, start a timer for 12 minutes.
Let's go back down to 4,000.
That is the thing.
Hey Siri, set a timer for 4 minutes.
12. Why did you think 4?
I can't set the timer for a specific.
Hey Siri, set a timer for 4 minutes. Sorry, wait, no. Set a timer for 12 minutes, please. Charlie requested that I set it for 12, and I just totally forgot and just totally spaced, and so I asked you for 4. But it's definitely 12.
The beauty of this joke is lost on the slideshow.
Okay, your timer is set for 4 minutes.
Oh, she was close though. Hey hey Siri, change my timer to 12 minutes, please.
Okay, 12 minutes and counting.
That's
Not that bad. She's learning too, because I've been doing this for like a period of 6 or 7 months where I ask her a question and then include way too much information and see how much she can like pick out what the valid stuff is.
all right. We need to start the pasta.
Pobsta. All right.
So
In what year did the Soyuz spacecraft perform its first lunar flyby?
that was not technically a Soyuz, I believe. Right? Wasn't that a derivative of the Soyuz?
I don't actually know. I would be taking a guess on this question.
I think it was a derivative of the Soyuz.
A derivative of the Soyuz.
Yeah, like they had the Bion. It was a derivative of the Voskhod. They have the Fregates and the Progresses, which are derivatives of Soyuz.
In which Apollo mission did the F-1 failed?
F1 fail.
I am pretty sure the success rate was 100% in flight. Was it not?
They had a J2 engine out on Apollo 13 early.
And they also had multiple on some of the uncrewed test flights, right?
Actually, I think Apollo 4 might have had an F1 have pogo problems. I don't know if it failed, though. Zon, yes, thank you, J.R. Kraft.
Zon.
That's exactly what I was looking for.
Okay.
That just slipped my brain.
13 and 4.
Will Kreider. It was the Little Joe rocket.
What does he ask?
What was the name of the booster used to test the Apollo launch escape system? It was the Little Joe rocket.
Nice. I like the trivia. I like the space trivia. All right. We've dropped 2,800 frames so far since OBS decided it was going to yeet out of existence, which means we've actually dropped quite a few more frames, but let's see if we can get to that.
Oh, we dropped 30 frames a second to second for a while there.
For about a minute. All right, Charlie is boiling the water. I think we need to start getting creative with where the cameras are, right?
You know what? I'm the chef and you're the cameraman.
Okay.
That's how this works, right?
It is how it works. When I was a camera person doing wedding films and things like that, I wonder how loud that is in the mic.
Ian Ross, that's what I said. I said a J2 engine was out on Apollo 13.
When I was doing video work and I was like still getting into the rocket stuff, I envisioned starting a video production company before I had like totally switched, and I was going to name it Vostok Video or Vostok Visual or something.
That's a solid name.
Right?
Yeah.
And I didn't do it. Okay. You should make ASMR videos. Nope.
What 2 items were given to Soviet cosmonauts after surviving a failed launch?
Vodka. And I know there's a shotgun in the Soyuz, but I don't think they would
I
give
think this is
them-
like an award or something.
One of them has to be vodka. Hold on. What 2 items were given to after surviving a failed launch? So that this is the one where it had the in-flight abort on the.
The Russians have used their abort system more times than they should have used their abort system.
Yes, Tim Dodd has a good breakdown on this, but he so they aborted on the pad when there was a fire on the launch vehicle.
Yes,
and there's a video of it.
The abort button failed, and they had to wait till the brake wires burned through, so the rocket thought it was blowing up, and then it automatically aborted.
The best part of that, though, is the video of it where you can see, like, there are 4 officials in front of a window in the viewing room, and the abort happens, and none of them flinch at all. And it's like,
They're
if
probably
I
all
were
like,
there, I'd
thank
be
God.
All right, so vodka is correct, and maybe vodka and cigarettes. That's got to be it.
Seems plausible.
Let me look it up. Oh, you know what? No, I shouldn't look it up. Let's see if we can get some new camera angles here. I'm not going to want to move the laptop, but I can move this. And I think I can do it. Hold on.
So we're gonna save you from Joey B's hand-fisted to relocate the camera.
Oh, no.
Switch
Put
to
it back to the camera. We have to fly through the kitchen.
Oh, are we doing that?
I think we're doing
Are you
that.
just gonna show off my entire dirty apartment?
All right, here we go.
All right. Battle stations.
You're on a plane on a USB cord that, through the miracle of USB, should not drop out. The universal serial bus.
If we could not show them my entire apartment,
Yeah, that would be
wonderful.
That would be ideal. Okay, I think I didn't completely think this through before I
And
did.
this is also going to go away before we start flying the camera everywhere.
That is a great call.
Things with my address on it.
Boy, I have had some really close calls with that before.
Oh wow, I see no possible failure modes associated with setting the webcam
Oh
on
no!
bags of pasta.
That we need to use. See, this doesn't work because we need to use these. How about the knives? This,
Oh.
I really thought this was a much better idea before I started this whole attempt. Hold on. Okay, stand by. If I move this closer...
Wes would like to know if we can run the camera to the street number, and the answer to that is...
Yes.
No!
Okay, this is much better. This is a good view.
See, this is where deterrence is a thing, Joe. I also know where you live. so this is how the world managed to not nuke itself for 30 years.
It's mad. It's mutually
Yeah.
assured
Yeah.
doxing.
Yeah.
All right, the camera seems to be somewhat focused. Wow, you can see the thing come
The
up.
IR, yeah.
This is cool because it thinks it's blue, so that's the IR. Showing
Yeah.
up?
Or the UV. I think it's probably IR. I think it's probably unfiltered IR. So the way these cameras work is there's a mask over various pixels that have a certain color associated with it. And so what I would guess is that the IR is leaking through primarily on the blue pixels because the red mask is closest to IR.
Okay, yeah. And so like the regular IR wouldn't come through, so it would wrap around, or sort of?
No, so like the IR wavelength is closest to red.
Yes.
But the red probably has like a good IR filter on it because it's close to it.
Yes.
So if there's enough IR, it
bleeds through to the
bleeds
blue.
through to the pixels that don't have the IR filter on it.
Interesting.
That's a guess.
I don't know if we will find out what the reasoning is.
I'm sure the chat will tell us.
Yeah, someone in the chat can look this up. And we'll just trust whatever answer they give, and they absolutely will not lie.
See, actually, the real secret here is that when Napoleon invaded Russia in the late 1800s, they were doing secret research on television technology in Siberia. And as the communists ran to the west to get away from Napoleon's troops, they took with them their ideas of red as the superior color. So they put all this development effort into red pixels, and blue pixels, being the American pixels, were obviously not worthy of further research.
Man, you know what? That is just airtight. That is absolutely the case. Let's see if I can do some fancy stuff here. It is possible I will regret this.
Woo! Glass of wine, absolutely.
Ready? Here we go. Get ready. Some 21st century nonsense. Whoa, look at that. You can watch water boil while you watch other things. It's pretty sweet.
We are literally to the point where we are watching water boil. That is the current step.
All right. Let's get some more questions. I'm down for 7-Eleven hot dogs shot in 4K at this point. By the way, you're losing out with your no super chat. Do I not have super chat enabled? Oh man, hold on.
Let's see.
This feels like an opportunity to...
No, you don't have super chat.
This feels like an opportunity to fund some more SodaStream CO2 cartridges.
Are you funding the SodaStream cartridges? Because I think you should buy me rocket parts with your super chat money.
Buddy, we both bought a significant number of rocket parts last night and do not need to do that for another week at least.
Oh, no. I'm still several parts short of that being a rocket.
Yeah.
I need one chamber, one mystery item that is only relevant to this project, and a flight weight tank.
How do you think I can do this?
Go to monetization, I think.
Supers. Oh, get started. Because I have monetization enabled. I just don't have super chat. Here we go. Hold on. Wow. There's a lot
All right.
of information here.
Here's what's going to be interesting.
I'm sure this is riveting content right now while I type things on my computer.
While Joe is busy gouging you for all the money you're worth,
I'm gouging you. That's
I have
Okay, I did it. Let's see if it worked.
a valve.
He does.
This is a pneumatically actuated 1/2-inch 1000 psi valve in stainless steel. So on my liquid engine, this hooks up to 600 psi helium or nitrogen. This hooks up to several check valves that run to the engine, the main fuel valve, and the main oxidizer valve. And then this port here runs to another solenoid valve. And so when I want to get all the fuel and all the combustion gases out of my rocket engine, I'll send 110 psi from a solenoid valve to this port here that will then cause this whole assembly to rotate, opening this valve, allowing 600 psi helium or nitrogen to purge the engine out and like make very sure there's no fire left in it. And this is how a lot of my new test stand is running, is with these pneumatic actuators. They're like heavy as hell, but it's also just way easier. I don't have to deal with all the weird electric ball screw things that I was trying to work with. I don't know why I didn't just do pneumatics to start with. It would have been much smarter.
Your oven is concerned.
That means the chicken is ready to be checked. It is almost certainly not done.
It is definitely still chicken.
Get that camera over here. And
Here we go.
We're gonna go do science.
Here we go on
Do you
a
smell
ride.
how good that? Do you see how good that smells?
Very good. All right.
It's just like amazing. So,
Wait. I need to switch.
Oh, all right. Can we not just like target that?
Yeah, that's great. Here we go.
Okay, so we got a thermometer.
Oh,
and we're turning it on.
Did you start 2 timers?
Yes. I didn't trust Siri.
This is chaos.
I only believe in the absolute supremacy of Google.
The absolute supremacy of this oven.
Anyway, so the thermometer is now on, so we will find out how hot the chicken is. And that is that, and that is that. So it's 76 degrees like normally. Ooh, that's toasty.
Roasty toasty.
And it is now 111, 120. I think we need 165.
That's true. We
My
did.
fingers are getting toasty.
I'm going to tell you a
127.
fact, and I'm going to tell you that we cannot use this fact in order to check if our chicken is done. And the fact is, you do not actually need to cook your chicken to 165. You can cook it to lower temperatures for longer periods of time.
So we're at 135, which means we probably need like 6 more minutes.
Okay, this is awful. Can you switch to main 2
Yep,
right there?
that's affirm.
This is the worst thing. I'm going to move this camera back to the tripod because you sort of... Hold on. It's sort of... I've decided that we're done with this.
Okay, but you know what it is time to do? We're gonna dump pasta
Into the pot.
into the pot.
I'm so sorry, everyone. We won't have real-time views of that. Or, like, super close-up views.
I think people should rebel against your poor cameraman work. I think this is a travesty.
Excuse me, sir. I studied at the Berkeley Sausage of College, and that is where I studied video production.
How many alcohols have you had?
All right. Well, you've had the whole wine glass. I haven't had any. Well, I have had definitely some, but...
That may be the first time ever that I've outdrunk you.
All right. So, what's going on in the chat? By the way, thank you so much, Eric, for the super chat. That was very kind. With all 4 hearts there. What is the size of the liquid rocket going to be?
What?
What is the size of the liquid rocket going to be?
I will answer that if you stir.
Great. That can be done.
The liquid rocket is a 6 kilonewton engine. It burns about 1 liter of liquid oxygen and 1.5 liters of ethanol per second. It is going to run at a little less than 500 psi chamber pressure. I lowered it so I could use the beer kegs as tanks, which saved me like a ton of money, but more importantly, it like solved a problem where I had where like even with money, I couldn't get tanks. I had domes and tubes, and I'm like, please weld these for me. And then people would be like, what are you using them for? And I'd be like, it's a liquid oxygen tank. And they would just like not respond ever again.
All right, I'm gonna head out.
Yeah, I'm out. So now I have tanks, and I'm purchasing next big purchase is I'm going to get a big sheet of steel water jet with mounting holes for all of the parts so I can just start bolting it together. And just today, you don't get to see this until the next episode of Liquid Rocket Engines in like 5 months. I'm so sorry. Just today I actually got in like, how much did you say that box weighed? Like 12 pounds of hydraulic fittings for my engine?
It held individual parts, but it was significant.
It was like $410 of just like fittings.
It was a lot. as they say.
Charlie, this is Big Jankistan. What's Big Jankistan? What did I do, Jank? Oh, the beer kegs. The beer kegs are Jankistan. I concur with that
Would you
assessment.
like to show the beer kegs?
Am I gonna show up? All right, I'll go get a beer keg.
This is why we tune in.
All right.
Cooking with Joey B. That is pretty close to a food thing, though.
It is actually close up to a food thing. It may not be a lie. Where did my other beer keg go? I swear I had 2 beer kegs.
I feel like one will be enough to convey what is happening.
Well, I was just curious because one of them is open and one of them still has the spear in it.
Oh.
Okay, I have a beer keg. I have a beer keg.
So it's like a half of a full keg, right?
This is called a sixtel. It is a like a sixth of a barrel. I don't know how that relates to like an actual keg, but it's really cool because it weighs like nothing for a stainless steel tank that's rated for 600 psi. Designed for 600 psi and tested to 600 psi. It's rated for 120 psi.
Do you want to explain your logic behind that?
Well, so the Department of Transportation has decided, in their infinite wisdom, that in order to like put a beer keg on a truck and drive around safely, it needs to be 5 times stronger than the pressure in the beer keg, and you need to prove this by hydrostatic testing it. The only problem is that they didn't know that people like me existed who didn't want a beer keg at 120 psi and a safety factor of 5, but instead wanted a beer keg at a pressure of 600 psi and a safety factor of 1.1. So
1.1 is, I'm sure, there seems to be no problem with that.
That is the uncrewed vehicle safety factor standard.
Yes, I just don't know. What is the fatigue timeline look like on that?
I'm sure that one of these press ups on this tank it is going to let go, and you will then see the video live and in color if I am still alive to upload it.
It will be an energetic video.
It will be an energetic video.
Yes.
I have actually not thought about where cameras go on the test stand, which is probably a thing that should change.
Are you going to live stream tests?
I feel like I am probably not enough people to do that.
If I
find other humans who want to participate.
If I could recommend something, my recommendation is do not do it until things are like really well oiled. I did the same thing for Sprite 2, where it's like, it seems so easy to turn a camera on, and it is so not.
You know, maybe I will do the thing you used to do with like the delayed live stream.
I would love to do that again. If anyone knows what I'm talking about, I used to get home from a launch and then just like go into like play video production on hard mode, which is you set a timer for like 2 hours, and you kind of need a really powerful computer to do this, but you set a timer for 2 hours, you get home, you import all your footage as fast as you possibly can, and then you cut together. A lot of this has to happen before the launch too, but you cut together a video of you introducing what the flight is. You do like a 2 or 3 minute segment of you talking about it. Then you show the launch cut together with like very dramatic music. It's basically like a YouTube premiere at this point.
So right when I first met you, I got my friends together and we would watch your delayed live streams on like a projector in our dorm.
That is difficult to hear because of how embarrassing those streams are.
They were pretty good. Some of them were very entertaining.
Anyway, and then I do like a little closing segment where it's like, 2 hours after the flight, here's what I think. And sometimes I was right.
So Andrew, you're right. It's not legit. I am definitely abusing the ratings on the tanks. I have an engineering degree, which means that I'm allowed to abuse the ratings on these tanks with science and math for profit. But I certainly don't expect it to be. I don't expect it to behave the way the tanks are intended to behave. I think they will deform more than they are expected to. And while I was joking earlier about if I'm still alive to upload the footage, I will. The honest truth there is that I have taken steps to protect myself and press up the tanks while I am far away. The pressurization valves are remote valves, and I will only do that from far away. My COPVs that hold my high pressure gas are old tanks from SCBA units that firefighters use, and they're still in their hydro test state. So they are certified to hold their pressure in a person-safe environment. And I feel very comfortable being around them and using them. And in fact, for my day job, I will sometimes wear a COPV on my back of the same design. So I feel comfortable with the risk that I'm taking there. Pressing up the gas tanks manually up close and then backing way the heck off before pressing up my fuel tanks, which are much sketchier.
We talked about this last night too, where I like offhand was like, yeah, but you do things that are a lot more risky than I do. And you clarified like it's not actually like all of the things that you do are in an isolated environment more dangerous than what I do, but you also account for the risk. Like,
yeah, I mean, I've blown up P motors, and I have felt.
Can we show the GoPro?
I can show that you can go grab a GoPro.
Yeah.
I've blown up P motors, and I always felt more at risk blowing up smaller motors where I was closer than large motors where I was farther away. Oh, so Joe grabbed a GoPro. This is a GoPro of mine. I 3D printed a mount that held a piece of 2020 extrusion on the MIT rocket team test stand for our second P motor static fire. And we did not put enough sealant on the liner splice for this, so there was a burn through of the aluminum case, and then, yeah, this camera died.
It's dead.
He's dead, Jim. So yeah, that's my GoPro. And if you look on my YouTube channel, there's a video. Or actually, if you look on the MIT Rocket Team YouTube channel, which I have uploaded every video on, there is a video called "Death of a GoPro," which is that camera died. I really should have like been smarter. I had like donated pro bono several $1,000s of GoPros to the MIT Rocket Team.
Not just GoPros. You've donated
avionics,
yes,
motor cases,
perhaps entire vehicles.
Entire
in some
vehicles.
respects.
That never happened. I didn't do that. I definitely did not do that.
We had some serious super chats here.
Holy cow!
Chris
Okay.
Kibb requests wine. ... No, just it's 4 dots. More wine. Eric Spittle gives us 4
with
crabs.
that kind of generosity, we can't argue.
Eric Spittle says 4 crabs. Thank you, Eric. Claws up. And then Mary Smith says, "Hey guys, I love watching your videos. How did you two meet?"
How did we meet, Joe?
This is like a couple.
Is this a story that I tell, or is this a story that you tell?
Charlie was the first in like 2016. Charlie was the first person. Can I read it? I bet I can read it.
So I sent Joe an email. I found his website while looking for other people who'd done actively stabilized rockets. I was just a sophomore at the time.
Here's the whole spreadsheet of like all of the contact stuff, and you are genuinely at the top, right behind me, with an email with the subject of rockets and a message of test. "Hi, I'm Charlie Garcia. I study aerospace engineering at MIT." And you went on and you said, "I'd be happy to buy you a cup of coffee. I'm particularly interested in your gimbal mechanism and altitude determination mechanisms." Which is interesting. Not attitude, but altitude determination.
Yes, I did not realize, this is embarrassing to say later, I was just starting on the MIT Rocket Team avionics called
Are we
Pixar.
timing this, by the way?
No, I just kind of go until it like looks mushy.
I'm gonna need a piece.
Okay. Yeah, so I was just starting the MIT Rocket Team Pixida hardware design, and I was really curious like what barometer you were using.
Yeah. You showed me one of the Pixidas too. You showed me a dead Pixida. Right?
I did show you a dead Pixida. We had killed it just like the week before. It had crashed into the desert at high speed.
Anyway, yeah. So it was through the BPS contact farm, and I'm gonna set false expectations here, but I've met a lot of great people through people just reaching out and being like, "Hey, you want to hang out?" But at this point,
this has worked out surprisingly well. I bought you a cup of coffee thinking I was going to steal all of your good ideas, and instead I have like been like a hanger-on to all of your like video success.
It's worked out pretty well. It's been a win-win. I also met Parker, who like helps with all of the launches through the contact forms, and a couple other folks. All right, 125. Is this yours or is this?
That's yours. Mine is over there.
Okay. We're getting there.
I think this is the thickest piece. Yeah, this is the thickest piece of chicken. So
That's what you want to gauge by.
yeah.
These look great, man. Honestly, mine does too. Like, this is gonna work well.
Okay, so we're not quite there. It's still going up, but like slowly.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna give it like 5 more minutes.
I'm not even sure 5 more minutes. I think like 2.
Okay.
Alright, 2 more minutes. Woo, toasty. Okay. Woo, hot, 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 hot. Woo, hot, 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 hot. Okay.
All right, we've got some more super chats, I think.
So
This was such a good idea. Whoever was like, you need to enable super chats. I was so sure they were enabled, and I was like, well, no one just wants to super chat this channel, I guess.
to end the story for Mary. So I grabbed this guy a cup of coffee at this like coffee shop just north of MIT, and I don't know, it was fun, and we decided it was a cool cup of coffee, and like he invited me out to his next launch, and I brought a couple of my friends, and we like.
Oh my god!
I was RSO.
You did the Model Falcon 9. It was Echo TV 5.
Yeah, and I did a video for it.
Yeah, there's a video on Charlie's channel called, and it's very dramatic.
Mm-hmm.
You've got like a time lapse. It's pretty good. It's Echo TV 5 though.
I think I almost need to copy a link to that in the chat. I'm gonna do it.
Yeah. Actually, why don't I do it and you take a look at the pasta to see what you think.
All right, I will do that.
You have a better
copy that.
judge on that. Charlie Garcia BPS. Let's see if that works.
So I haven't done like the gluten-free pasta thing before, and it's definitely like a little more brittle.
It's a weird texture. It's hard with brown rice pasta. Barilla, however you want to say it. They get it very right. But not many others do. All right. Someone's probably already found the link, but in case not, here's the Echo TV 5 launch. I think you've got a drone angle in here too.
I do have a drone angle in it. One of those is my drones. There are 2 drones overhead.
Oh, and the sound is delayed.
No, that's real time. I got it all synced up. That's your.
You can tell. One of the things you can tell here, I think I was still using the complementary filter and not the BNO050. Yeah, this is the launch where you told me about the BNO055.
I gave you one.
Yeah,
I have one in my lunchbox.
It never worked. It was the one that like ripped apart, and I tried to get it to fix. But,
sad. All right.
Oh.
I will still claim great credit.
I don't think this is. I'm not sure how interesting this is, but okay. Let's see. Eric has donated so far, I think like $13. Thank you so much, Eric. Donating money until Joey agrees to do a KSP stream.
We can try and do a KSP stream this evening. I've got an install. It's 1.8, not 1.9. But if we need Joey B playing KSP,
I'll do it
to stop Eric from throwing money into this bottomless pit of rocketry expenses.
Yeah, I would rather Eric like save his money and like we'll just agree to do it.
So I took the heat off of that, so we'll strain that, and then we'll put some olive oil in the pan. And I've never done this with non-gluten pasta, so we're gonna see if it caramelizes as well as like pasta does.
The Real Pro Gamer move, which is obviously at this point obviously my new favorite.
Pro gamer move.
Yeah, my new favorite.
You wanna know what pro gamer move is? Placemats.
I've got those, man. We're both real adults at this point. The pro gamer move is you put cold water over the gluten-free pasta because it helps like do stuff.
Yo, pro gamer it up. There's a pot of pasta for you.
Okay. Where's your strainer? Or do you have one?
I just use the lid.
Okay.
I like put the lid in like 90% of the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, that science. I'm an adult. Also, in case everyone hasn't seen, Scott Manley dropped a new video today on injectors that is excellent. I highly recommend it. He did a great job with it.
I watched about half of it and then I didn't get through the rest. No, not like at all for his fault, but like I just had other things to do, like set up this stream.
A human asked me a long time ago if I went to MIT, and the answer to that is yes. I, in fact, went to MIT.
He's got the brass rat.
I do have the breast wrap. I took it off right after work because it was heavy and causing me to have a sore. Okay, good news. Oh, wait. Oh, wow. It jumped around. Okay.
All right.
Good news. Propane tanks were tested at 600 PSI. Propane tanks would be another excellent solution to the problem. They are not nearly as cheap.
Or the form factor isn't like as easy to work with as a keg.
Yeah. But definitely I will keep that in mind. Actually, that may be highly relevant. There's another thing we could use a propane tank for, Joe.
Propane.
Well, the tank.
Propane and propane accessories.
For not propane.
If you got a small cooking sized propane tank. Like, you know those
So-
like Coleman lantern
So
tanks?
4 inches by 30 centimeters. That feels like a propane tank size.
Yeah. Well, I thought they meant like the grill propane tanks, like one of these, like one of the fat
Oh,
like
no,
short ones.
that feels like not a good idea.
Yes, there are other applications for that.
There are other applications for that
Yep.
that may be coming to an internet near you.
You said we are not going to allude to anything, so
I didn't say
will-
not allude. I said not talk about. I think
Alright.
we have not talked about it.
There's nothing else happening. There are no
I blame the
projects.
wine. That is my choice.
There are
Blame
no-
the wine.
There are no projects in work.
Okay. Joey B, KSP streaming. Is there liquor? I'm having a terrible night and I'm willing to throw money at Eric, I'm sorry you're having a terrible night. I hope you're having a better night. Liquor helps with everything. In fact, I will show you what we're going to have for dessert.
Can we get an S in the chat for Eric? And for those who are not aware, I don't know if you're aware, Charlie. The S.
No.
Okay, if you put an F in the chat, it's like to pay respect, right? Because someone failed or something bad happened. If you put all 26 letters of the alphabet in a circle, S is the antipode of F.
Ah.
S is on the opposite side of F. So we
Got
put
it.
S's in the chat for good luck.
Well, we have this wonderful dessert liquor, which is, I think, like 19% ABV and kind of expensive and definitely worth drinking. It's very tasty. It is ridiculously sweet. And this bottle of wine is almost gone, which makes it a necessity.
Excellent.
Let's see. Joy B dropping links.
A lot of S's.
We are
in the
so
chat.
far behind.
Yes.
Wrap the beer kegs in pre-preg carbon and turn it to a COPV. So K9, that doesn't work for a variety of reasons. You could do it, but you need like a little bit of texture on the toe. That's what the wrap is called. It's called a toe. And pasta would also not make a good overwrap. But in this case, I don't need to do that. They're rated for the pressure as they are.
How much salt are you supposed to put in the pot when you boil pasta?
Enough to increase the temperature of the water so it cooks faster. The salt actually is not to make the pasta salty.
That's what I thought. So I
So
always add just a little bit.
Because we're at like 6,500 feet, that means that the salt is actually very necessary.
Your boy's living at high altitude. Y'all just made my night. Thank you. Thank you, Eric. An S in the chat for you, sir.
They're mad that you just ate from the pot, and this is where I have to confess that I did that like 10 minutes before Joe did.
Yeah, man.
And
That's how you cook.
If he has coronavirus, I was screwed when I went and picked him up from Tucson, so...
Yo, listen up. We're all getting it. It's
But that is the wrong attitude to have. We should delay getting it as long as possible, because if we maintain the total case burden at below the capacity of our healthcare system, the total number of fatalities will be far lower. I took several biology classes at MIT, and also for a very scary moment thought I was going to do biology instead of aerospace. And then instead of doing biology instead of aerospace, I double majored in aerospace and nuclear science. And then after one semester of that, I decided that sleep was fun, and I just did aerospace.
and you did a different double major.
Political science doesn't count.
What was I saying? Sam Altman has a really good take on it. There's a lot of people who have a really good take on it, but he has a very short blog post that he posted about there are a lot of people who are probably going to get it, and you should delay it as long as possible.
So the secret is that with correct medical support,
And we are both absolutely qualified to give you advice. Speaking as people who are experts in the medical field.
so with proper hospital support, coronavirus's fatality rate is significantly lower than without proper medical intervention. So if you can wait till the end of the outbreak to get sick when fewer people have it, your odds of surviving go up.
Yeah.
If you cannot pass it on to as many people until later, their odds of surviving go up. Also, there's a phenomenon in both viruses and bacteria where the longer that an outbreak sustains itself for, the less dangerous it becomes, because the mortality rate of the disease goes down because it evolves to not kill its hosts, because if it kills its hosts, it doesn't get spread.
Yeah.
So there's a phenomenon where the mortality rate of diseases decays as outbreak go on. This isn't universally true. I'm not I don't study pandemics.
No,
I'm
we're
not-
both medical professionals and are both absolutely, I would like
I
to say
actually
again.
don't think you should say that.
We are-
in all seriousness, we are not.
Okay.
But it's a phenomenon that exists, and so it is entirely worth your while to fight tooth and nail to not get it until later. And also, viral dose matters. If you like expose yourself as little as possible and you still get exposed a little bit, you are less likely to get sick than if you expose yourself to a lot of it.
This works with like any virus too. Like
Yeah.
there's a threshold for most viruses where it takes hold.
And then your immune system can figure its act out and make you not get sick at all ever. So this is great. So like literally try as hard as you can to not get sick, and you may never get sick, and that's great. It's 2 weeks of work you don't miss. 3.4% chance of dying you don't have.
You know what's really great is I've become much more confident in giving medical advice as a direct correlation of how much wine I have had.
Speaking of which, salud!
Cheers. All right, we missed quite a whole lot. Joe Wakefield says vibes. Did you know? I don't know how often you're in the BPS Discord, but
Like, rarely.
okay, yeah. Charlie's not there often. I think we have the same pan.
I'm unfortunately a bit, like, busy as a human being.
Charlie has
It's a
like
feature of life.
what you might call a real job. But
This YouTube thing is for giggles.
the BPS Discord has created a late night vibes channel, and it completely like I woke up one morning and it was just there. So late night vibes are everyone's new thing. Eric says, "Here's my $2 to not talk about coronavirus anymore." Oh, geez, Eric, I am sorry. We saw that way too late. $2 for if you could just wait to get sick. May your skies be blue and your winds be low. Charlie, please more content, says J Hines 3.
I will. This is awful. I literally have multiple videos that are like 80% edited that I have to like finish and publish. And like some of them have been edited since October, but then I finished my political science concentration and I moved out and I started my new job. And while I was moving, I didn't edit any videos, and I also couldn't work on anything because all my stuff was like packed in boxes. And so I will literally publish these videos that have been like 80% done for months, and they're going to come with a like pre-disclaimer that like, here you see me in my old shop with my nice tools and my expensive stuff that I don't have yet in Colorado. So, sorry.
It's fine. Honestly, I have faith that Charlie will get more out. Maybe I'm stacking the odds against you.
Yeah, you kind of are. Are you volunteering to help me edit?
No, that you've grossly misinterpreted my sentiment here. But getting one out after 6 months, I feel like gets the momentum back up. I don't know.
Yeah. And actually, with that one video, I like literally was like, I am not going to sleep tonight until this video is uploaded. So I got to Colorado. We had a contract to do with NASA. So I like worked on that in a panicked frenzy.
As you do.
As I do. And like all my coworkers pitched in to help me, which was really cool of them. And that got done. And literally like that day, I got on an airplane and flew to Kodiak, Alaska for things and places that are not important to talk about in public settings.
It is very easy to figure out what that is, but yes.
Don't worry about it. And then I landed, and like 6 days later, I had a video out. So I don't feel that awful.
Charlie, I owe you. I feel like I owe you half of the grocery money, or at least if I'm eating a quarter of the food that we make, which is one of the 4 chickens that we made. I owe you a quarter of the grocery money, and now an extra $2, which is Eric saying, "How do I give Charlie money to do videos?"
I have a Patreon.
Oh yeah,
and I do videos, and I do videos both on my liquid engine that I'm working on. It's a 6 kilonewton ethanol oxygen. Wow, our chicken is probably really toasty. It's been much more than 2 minutes. We're gonna stop that.
Charlie has a Patreon. I'll do this and you can get the chicken out. Charlie has a Patreon. He develops liquid rocket engines. He has a series called Solid Rocket Motors.
Which is actually done, and I just have to edit the videos. I'm so sorry. Do you want to go get the fired motor case?
Yeah. Let's see.
It's blue. It's on the floor. It's really obvious.
It's the one that I picked up like 3 times.
Yeah, it's like the coolest thing in the room to pick up.
There is no soot on this.
That's because it had a liner on it. It's not supposed to have soot in it. It's supposed to look pretty and nice.
All right. This is a fired solid rocket motor case. Charlie built it all by hand, which means he radially drilled all of these holes, and I believe they're all countersunk.
They are all countersunk, but they're countersunk on the closure, not on the case, because the head of the bolt is actually thicker than the case.
Interesting.
Some of them look nicer than others. I got it better.
Yeah, this one leaves some to be desired.
Which is weird because I made them all the same way, and it's unclear to me how I screwed up that badly.
This is a
empty hole? Yeah, so funny story. The design of the case only requires 9 bolts, and I did 12.
Oh.
So some of them are just missing.
Right, I'm sure that's fine.
It works. I did extensive structural analysis.
Were there any hard decisions behind choosing this size of hex for your...
Yes,
screws?
I wanted to do smaller, but I had to drill 24 holes, and I was like, forget that. So this required 9 holes, but I did 12, which was
No,
much
I
fewer
mean
than
like
24.
just this size of hex wrench for it.
No, that's what McMaster-Carr sold.
Oh, okay, cool. Anyway, what are the materials here?
Aluminum.
Aluminum, anodized, right?
Yep.
And
Aluminum.
black anodized.
It's called hard coat.
Hard coat.
Class 3 anodized, yeah.
Very cool.
I have the drawings for this. Actually, if you want to get the chicken out of the oven urgently...
Welcome to the stream where we don't ever get the chicken out of the oven and eventually the apartment complex burns down.
There is a pan holder in the drawer, and I will show off the stream cool drawings of parts.
I wonder how loud the sink is.
I do not know. Wow, this is all like other rocket motors. Here we go.
That is not
Wow,
surprising for
did I not call out an anodized spec on this? I'm a bad engineer. I made this whole drawing.
Charles, does the
And-
chicken go into the pot? Or
No,
the
it goes right there.
like on this?
Yeah, for a second.
Okay.
And then I'll figure out what to do.
You have a...
Yep, right there. I have all the things.
Here we go.
And careful, don't get the thumb in the hot oil or you will burn and you will be sad.
It will be a sad event.
Yes, I have definitely not speaking from experience. So I made all these drawings. They're essentially engineering drawings, technical drawings for all the parts of the rocket engine. So I made these and I sent it out to a vendor and they anodized it for me and it was great fun. I didn't have to figure out how to anodize it by myself, and I gave them $110 and they sent me back these absolutely gorgeous parts. This was in September, and I have all the footage from that I just have to edit and not be stupid about. I'm so sorry. This was a long tangent. What are the other chats we've gotten? That chicken is going to be dry. It will probably be fine, I anticipate. Jay Hines wants to know how we became friends, which I feel like is the same story of how we met that we told Mary earlier.
Charlie became my friend, and that's how. That's it. That's what you got to know.
So I'm a terminal extrovert. If I meet you and you don't
You are an extrovert,
personally
man.
offend me, I am already your friend.
In any public space, you go out of your way. It's a good thing. You go out of your way to be like, "Hey, how you doing?" Or "Can I help you?" You look like you needed assistance.
I was a museum docent for 5 years, and so my job was literally to stand in the middle of a really big room under an SR-71 Blackbird and be like, "Can I help you?"
Wes says, as their intoxication increases, their willingness to give details about Charlie increases.
I don't feel like I'm a mysterious internet figure.
No, I don't think you are.
I pretty much say what I need.
All right, the chicken is out. It is cooling. It is definitely past 165. I checked. Not that that was a question at this point.
Wow, I got off work 2.5 hours, 2 3/4 hours ago, and I was starving 2 3/4 hours ago.
Yeah, we waited a while for this.
Oh man, that smells so good. Holy cow.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I want this chicken in my mouth.
So, Charlie, walk us through what happens here. We've got the pasta in a pan.
Right. So we have, are you getting the camera?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to do it again. It was a bad idea before, but maybe this time it'll work.
It's a bad idea again, but it's a new bad idea.
Right. It's a bad idea, but we're revisiting.
It's a reboot.
Right.
We're rebooting the bad idea. So we have pasta in a pan with olive oil that is cooked. And what we're going to do is we're going to transfer some quantity of this chicken from here to there. And this is Joe's, so we're doing Joe's first so I don't get any extra gluten on it.
Extra. Nice.
I will grab this knife-looking thing here. This feels dangerous. Holy cow. And we're going to make this piece of chicken be in many pieces.
The USB cable is very close to knocking my
Can you
wine
imagine
glass
doing
over.
this without a USB cable? Which is how I've streamed until literally now. This is the first stream that's used this USB cable.
Yeah, because I opened it out of the box. I was looking for one that was like wrapped up and was surprised to find it just like chilling in a box.
So I bought it. I tried to live stream the MIT Rocket Team launch. This was my last launch. I'm no longer at MIT, and
This is so hard to point this camera.
the team is so important to me. It did so much for me. It got me my first job at SpaceX. It introduced me to all kinds of people. It made me a much smarter, a much better, a much more talented engineer, much more well-rounded. So I went out to support the launch of the last rocket, and I decided to try and live stream it on the MIT Rocket Team channel.
Oh, and you did, yeah.
And it was like kind of not awful. But in the process of doing that, I purchased this USB extension cable to try and stream from my camera. But after getting all this equipment, none of it worked. And I didn't have any time to debug it. And so I just like opened like the YouTube app on my phone and live streamed from my phone, which was very science.
Maybe you can do that. I don't know if this is too much stress. So I have started. I'm gonna take this camera and put it.
Yep.
Oh,
Are you okay?
my goodness.
Is that the beer keg? He
I
tripped
will
over the
tell
beer
you-
keg.
The beer keg absolutely and unequivocally did not come anywhere close to falling over.
All right. Well, the chicken is now in the pasta, which feels like a code phrase.
What is the ABV on this wine? That's my question right now. What is a normal ABV for wine? Like 9?
9, 11.
It is 14.
Oh, somewhere
Okay.
decently tipsy.
That makes sense.
A really strong port wine has 19.
Yeah, so that's like approaching. Anyway, I was going to say something, which is... I've started streaming most of my launches for patrons, and it's just the same thing, where you go in the YouTube app, you set the phone up, and you just give it to someone, and that's actually worked pretty well. The stream quality is very bad, obviously.
So the MIT Rocket Team doesn't have any Patreons, except for alumni who throw tens of thousands of dollars at it.
They have several very large Patreons.
we have a limited number of very, very... And surprisingly, they aren't super interested in the launch. They just want to be good people, which is very nice of them.
We did. I worked for a film company in Boston that did a very, very small feature film, and at the end of it, all of the investors who donated to pay for production costs and things like that, they're essentially investors in how you would do investing in a normal company.
Mm-hmm.
And the way you could tell that they were doing it for, I think, the right reasons was you'd talk to them and be like, oh yeah, we had these technical issues and this didn't go right, and they go, did you have fun though? Did you have fun?
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Which is only mildly adjacent to what you were talking about.
Usually MIT Rocket Team's investors ask, so are you looking for a job now?
Yeah. Because your investors are not individuals usually.
Yeah,
right?
Typically it's Alcoa, SpaceX, Altium,
Yeah.
companies that are hi, we would like to hire all of you.
How big is Altium?
I don't know, it's the PCB design company.
Oh, sorry. I thought you meant Altius.
Altius is big, 190, 240 employees, something like that.
It's bigger than I thought.
John Goff is all over Twitter. I would ask him. He's
Yeah.
the expert.
No. That's how I know them, but I didn't know they were that large.
So I'm making your pasta, so if you could do me a favor and grab that farthest to the right chicken and chop it into these sized chunks.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna try to do another little camera move here. Let's play this game called I Move the Camera and Maybe It Is Okay.
I'm decently impressed with the staying power of this stream. We're still at 74 people. I would have figured that people would have gotten bored and decided that they have better things to do with their evening.
Oh, every single one of these people has better things to do, but they're just very generous with their time, and they're these poor kids, man. We just gotta support them.
If you're calling us kids, I don't want to figure out what I am.
Alright, which chicken would you
Farthest to the right, or yeah, that one. The one you just gesticulated over.
I'm just gonna pick it up.
Go for it. Punch it.
Alright. How's the angle? The angle's all right. It's not excellent. So you want to do? You're doing it in like chunks like that, like little
Yeah.
squares.
I
Like
find
cubes.
that to be an effective way to eat this. I don't know like specifically what the right way to do it is. And I am far too inebriated to come up with a more clever solution.
It is surprising how much this wine has had an effect, and all of that was due to the chat who picked it.
I would say I blame Eric for his excellent wine selection and his further encouragement of a second glass of wine.
I do blame Eric as well. Thanks, Eric.
Eric, I hope your evening is going better. You have at least made our evening better through your generosity.
You have
And
made.
your encouragement to consume more liquor.
Okay. There are many chunks of this chicken.
Yep. So if you hear this crackling noise, this is the sound of the complex proteins in the pasta becoming simpler proteins, which are both tastier and more calorific, which is,
Calorific is absolutely right.
guess, good for me. And I don't know, Joe, are you trying to gain or lose weight?
I mean, TBH, I'm just trying to vibe out. That is the best thing I've said all year.
I'm curious. Do you weigh twice as much as me, or less?
I'm like 179 right now.
So you actually weigh like almost twice as much as me.
Your boy is in a different weight class.
So what we're saying is we should definitely not try and figure out which one of us is the rocket wrestler.
I think if we both wrestled, both of us would lose. That's how that would work out.
But the internet might win.
Right. This smells remarkably good.
This chicken actually smells incredible.
We have a dropped frame percentage of 2.9%, which leads me to believe, which is like not nothing. But at least
That's surprisingly not bad. Like if that's spread out, like 3% of missing frames is less than 1 frame a second.
yeah. And I think most of it is just coming from like very.
And like really, can you even tell the difference between 29 frames per second and 28 frames per second?
I've started going rogue on my channel. I've been doing. Someone requested that the sprite test be uploaded in 4K 60 FPS.
Uh-huh.
And since I have the ability to shoot in that now, like I was like, okay, great.
I don't. I can shoot in 1080p sometimes.
Joey B be flexing. Let me tell you what.
With all that carbonated milk camera money.
I will tell you this: the carbonated milk money. We donated the first part of it. That happened.
That's a wise decision.
We did donate the first part of it to, I don't remember what robotics team, but there's a video of it on this channel. And then the rest of it went towards BPS, which a lot of people did request. And so that looked like investments.
Grab a plate from there. Your pasta is ready, sir.
Excellent.
Nope, that's an ugly plate. Get the plate to the right. Yeah, the dark blue plates.
Yes.
The classy ones that don't look like ugly. Okay, you're gonna set that down so I don't burn you when I try to pour this out.
That's a better idea.
I have no faith in my coordination at this particular juncture.
Anyway, the point is that the rest of that went into a new camera for filming launches, and this laptop that I'm currently streaming on, and like, I mean, it didn't cover everything, but like, it went toward a lot of stuff.
If you were curious, I have no money.
Can you talk about this? Do you know what that is?
I don't know what that is.
Does anyone know what
It
this
just
is?
came off of pasta. I assume it is starch.
With gluten-free products, you get this little fun flake on the side of your pot or pan. And I never know what it is. I'm sure it's edible, but I'm not going to do it. All right. I'm going to display what you've created here.
Grab that chicken and like scrape it into here, please.
Okay. Oh, right. The one that I cut.
Believe it or not, we are actually cooking here and not just like talking for your amusement. I swear I want to eat at the end of this.
This is what we've come up with so far. I'm going to do... I don't think this is going to be a better camera. Oh, nope, hold on. Wait, does the sound still go if I... Okay, hold on. No, we're not done yet. This is what it looks like, though. Very nice. Good job, Charlie. I will acknowledge that I did, I believe, less than 50% of this. Oh boy, the frame rate is dropping. Okay, it looks like the frame rate is coming back. We should still be streaming now. Charlie did most of this, but yeah, there you go. Am I allowed to try this, or should we wait until we both have it? I think we should wait.
Okay, I will accept that.
Yeah, I think that's the right call. Oh boy. Dropping frames.
So you know what you should do? You should go grab the 1-inch valves
Okay.
from the shelf.
Those are the huge ones, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just because that'll be entertaining.
Okay.
So, as the chat may know, I build liquid rocket engines both as a day job and as a hobby because I have no work-life balance. My work-life balance is I work. And so these are my valves. Oh, no, that's the actuator. Okay, yeah, that's fine.
Oh, I got both of them. They look
Okay,
cool.
okay, all right.
Yeah. All right.
So,
You explain and I will hold it up and model it. What is this first?
that's a pneumatic actuator. So that's what turns the valve when it's several hundred degrees below zero and also freezing to death. And it takes a lot of torque. So you press that up to like 100 psi and it provides like several Newton meters of torque.
That is a lot of torque.
Yeah,
Yeah.
to turn the valve. And
get-
I'm faking it because I actually don't have cryogenic valves because I can't afford cryogenic valves. So
Oh, hold on. Little
Yeah.
ASMR. Who wanted the ASMR? Ready? This is right by the mic.
Joe, how drunk would you estimate that you are?
Oh, I'm not drunk. I'm just
I am. I'm drunk.
okay. Sufficiently tipsy. It's just very surprising. It's one bottle of wine and we didn't check the ABV.
That was our mistake. We screwed up.
That was mistake number one. To give some sense for this, so to back to the actuator,
Yeah.
you said several Newton meters of torque.
Yes.
Do you know what the actual number is?
I think it's 5.8 Newton meters.
And to give some sense for it, which is just, it's not the same scale, but I just wanted to give some scale. So most of my rockets, the maximum that they can provide in terms of thrust vector control torque in flight is somewhere on the order of like 0.35 Newton meters or 0.4. It's very low. Or at least Sprite. Sprite is like 0.2 Newton meters of torque. So this is a lot. I know it's a totally different scenario. Okay, so we have the actuator, and then here's the valve.
Yeah, so this is the valve that eats all the torque. Joe, try and turn that, please.
Yeah.
Model it for the crowd.
It's really. Oh, I was going the wrong way. It's very hard to turn. You had to slam it against the floor before. Here we go. Okay, so this is like halfway actuated, and you can see the ball close in. It's very hard to actuate, and like.
So that's what the actuator will be turning, and when that opens, that's when the engine will be lighting. So you can see Joe's shirt, and now you can see Joe's shirt going away. And each of those costs like a somewhat ludicrous quantity of money because they're stainless steel, 1000 psi ball valves.
Here's the best part. They're not even what you need fully.
No, they are not what I need. I need cryogenic valves, which those are not. I really expect those only to work like twice, maybe once. I'm really optimistically hoping for twice. So the actuator will work multiple times. The actuator is the really expensive part, so I'm okay with replacing the valves every time I test the engine. Ideally, sometime I would be able to afford the cryogenic ball valves, but for the initial tests, especially if the initial tests are happening with water and ethanol, I'm okay with not using proper cryogenic rated components.
We dropped out for a second there, but Charlie said that, can you repeat like 2 more sentences of the last thing?
Oh yeah. So what I really need is cryogenic ball valves, but since the initial tests are happening with water and ethanol, I'm okay with starting with non-cryogenic valves and replacing them after the first cryogenic test.
Yeah.
It'll save me a lot of money if that's what I need. If it's not what I need, it will save me even more money.
This is a good thing. This allows for more rockets.
Okay, if you could do me a favor and grab a plate, I'm going to arrange this to be on the plate and then in my mouth.
There it is. I'm going to arrange the camera to get set up on the table. That's what I'm going to do. Okay.
It's yours.
Let's see.
We both need forks. We do not really need knives.
Oh no, Charlie, I've broken your tripod.
What did you do?
Oh no. The small knob.
Catastrophic failure.
Okay, all right, it's not that bad. These tripods, they come.
That's okay. So I ran into Brady Kenningston at Kodiak, and after seeing Brady's kit, I have determined that I am going to buy whatever tripods Brady has because they are infinitely nicer than the tripods I own, and the quantity of money that Amazon charges for a Brady tripod is worth the effort. I think that's everything we need. We need the wine.
You know what? I wonder if we can just put this on the counter.
That may be the thing to do.
Sorry for the vertigo, everyone. I bet if we did this, there it is. That looks a little scary. Let's get a light there.
That's concerning. One of my shot glasses. Ah, there it is.
I sit here. Oh, this looks weird. Let's get this off here. You should get your laptop on the table too so we can read chats.
I will do that.
An essential portion of any meal is reading the YouTube chat.
All right, we can read the chat. Arsenio Dev would like to inform us. Manfrotto is good. Charlie, you got to add one swinging dim light bulb for the meme.
Swinging dim light bulb for the meme. Okay.
What's that? I mean, this is like a classy, fully operational dinner table. Except for the part where that is directly in the camera view.
Well, hold on, sir.
Oh, all right, science.
This looks very bad. What if we do this so that the light evens out a little more? Okay, turn off the overhead light. Let's try that. Is that better or worse?
Are none of these this light?
Charlie, this is not a very picturesque. Okay, I have a new plan. I'm gonna sit there, and I'm gonna put the camera here.
Okay,
It's worth. It's so worth.
That's how we did this the last time.
Yeah.
So there's supposed to be a stainless steel water jet map of the world on that wall over there. And
As you do.
I have not gotten it done yet because I have spent all of my disposable income on, believe it or not, rockets.
Oh, we need to move the microphone.
Yes, we need to move the microphone.
Can you take care of that? Or I can take care of that.
I can arrange for the microphone to be somewhere else. Sorry for the loud noises. There we go. This box of chocolates is now the microphone.
How about those chocolates at Walmart? Thanks, Walmart. That's just a fun fact for anyone who's looking for a fun fact today. All right, this is a pretty good view. I feel good about this.
We're getting there.
All right.
Is this the part where we actually eat the food? Is that how this is supposed to happen?
Here's the piece of the tripod that is now missing. Let me wash my hands, and we will get ready to go here.
Misty O feels like she is third wheeling right now.
Oh.
I would just like to let you know that Joe Barner
We told her how I met story.
is happily involved with some wonderful young lady, and I am so single that I traveled to a barely inhabited Alaskan island where there were more bears than people for Valentine's Day. Cheers.
What happens on Kodiak on Valentine's? Do they do anything?
I don't know. I was in an airport.
All right.
Salud.
Salute. Good job. Thanks for joining us with Cooking with Joey Meat. This is a nice camera angle.
This is excellent, and the shirt's a good color. I like the red and the whatever color of blue.
Yeah, it's like a teal.
Yeah, I'm going to call it blue because blue is my favorite color, and I feel more justified in making Delta IV my favorite rocket if it's a blue color.
Yeah. All right, here we go. How did we do? Or we lagged for a second. Your feature, which I won't disclose what it is, outside changes color.
It does.
I didn't know that.
It does.
Uh-oh. Oh, no, we just lost resolution. Okay, well, that's the first bite.
Arsenio, I have seen the Cherenkov Blue in my life. MIT has a nuclear reactor on its campus, and for one semester, I was a nuclear aero double major. This turned out to be a poor life choice because sleep, but it was really cool for the semester that I got to like have access to the nuclear reactor.
This is pretty good, man. It makes a difference to fry it in the pan, I think.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
I think if we were going to do it again, I would like sear it. I would go hotter with the temperature.
Yeah. And I'm unthrilled by the gluten-free pasta, no offense.
Yeah, no, there's no offense.
The consistency is just not quite there.
I don't know how they do it, but Berea is the only company that has figured it out, and they make gluten-free pasta that tastes identical, but we couldn't find it.
Joe
Okay.
Wakefield would like to know what your favorite song is.
Well, Joe, you should have an inkling into this, and I'll tell you why. In the hashtag Late Night Vibes channel, in the BPS Discord, someone, I think it was either you or Nuffly or someone in the Discord set up a Spotify connection so that we could all listen. And this is like one of the best things that's come out of the Discord so far, but we can all listen to the same playlist. Like someone can DJ and the rest of the Discord, if they want to, can tune in. So it's great, and there's a lot of meme songs. There's a decent amount of Shrek music that gets played in there. But one of the songs that got played was, it was by Foster the People, and it's called...
Pumped Up Kicks?
No, it's not Pumped Up Kicks.
That's the only Foster the People
I
song
hadn't.
know.
I had heard it like only once before. Sit Next to Me by Foster the People, and it is such a banger, which is a technical term, that I have listened to that song easily over 70 times in the last week. So that's my favorite song. What about you?
My favorite song is probably still The Middle by Zed and Alicia Cara.
That is also a banger. Yeah.
Like, Zed and Alicia Cara have both, like, managed to, like, take over my music for the last solid 3 years. So when I worked at the Kennedy Space Center, The Middle played every night at 12:03 a.m. And I worked third shift in SpaceX's hangar. So I would be driving back from dinner to Pad 39A every night. And I knew I was on time because roughly about the time that I crossed the security checkpoint, The Middle would come on over my car radio. And I'd be like, yep, I am on time. And if I was past the security checkpoint, I'd be like, wow, I'm early. And if I was still eating lunch or if I even missed the song entirely, I'd be like, wow, I'm a little late.
So this was on like the radio?
Yeah.
And they just had like a set list that they played after 12 or something like that.
Yeah, I guess. And so just like after 12, you'd hear it and you'd be like, you would know that you were listening to the on-time radio playlist or the behind-schedule radio playlist.
Joe Wakefield says 80 miles from Santa Fe. Charlie, did you listen to the song? It is almost certain that you did not, but I posted a song on my Twitter, and I said something like, it brings tears to my eyes every time. It's this song called Parked Out by the Lake, and at the risk of getting copyright striked.
Don't do it. Don't do it, Joe.
No, we've received super
can't.
chats. We can recoup this. I want to play you this song called Parked Out by the Lake. It's by Dean Summerwind, and it is...
I'm so sorry.
Oh god, there's an ad. Someone else is getting AdSense now. There's 2 ads.
We should charge them for the 65 people still watching this.
Okay, alright. This song, I'm going to put it right by the microphone. This song is called Parked Out by the Lake, and it's by Dean Summerwind, and really the thing that gets me with this song is the lyrics. So I just want you to listen, and I'm going to keep eating my chicken
You
pasta.
gotta hit the play button.
Oh yeah, no, I was prefacing it. Here we go.
It's an experience.
I'm from the South, so it's a country song.
I am from the Midwest, which is philosophically different from the South in the sense that
Wait, you gotta listen. Here we go.
So parked out by the lake,
Yep,
And
that
I'm
checks.
sitting here just parked out by the lake.
That's beautiful.
If you're wondering where I park, I'm out parked by the lake. It's the lake that's 80 miles from Santa Fe. And I'm parked out by the lake. 80 miles.
He's not a fan.
No, I am a fan. So the funny story here is, in the pile of videos that I haven't edited, there's one from June of 2019. There's one from July of 2019. And in July of 2019, I took a road trip to Los Angeles where I did not actually get a hotel room or rent a car. I simply survived off the goodwill of my good friends for 3.5 weeks. For way too long, for an embarrassingly long period of time. I just took off of work and went and chilled in LA. And one of these good friends of mine, they have a lake house. And I went and I enjoyed their lake house. And I have several hours of very beautiful lake footage with unreasonably attractive vistages.
Oh, this is the vlog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And drone footage and me water skiing and us having a volleyball tournament. And it's very stereotypical vlogger footage that would be very good video if I ever figured out how to edit it. And I'm theorizing that if I did edit it, it would have to be to a song such as this.
So the goal would be there's enough facetiousness or there's enough meme in it that it's
No, you oversell it, right? You pretend there's no meme in it and you play it straight.
Yeah.
Where you are water surfing behind a ridiculously expensive power boat.
Yeah.
Not for the memes, not for the lulls, but playing it straight. You're wearing the Gucci swim trunks, you're wearing the aviators from Ray-Bans, and you're water skiing.
And you're parked out by the lake.
And you're parked out by the lake.
Which is 80 miles from Santa Fe.
Which is several more than 80 miles from Santa Fe.
There is no lake that is 80 miles from Santa Fe. And that's the best part of that song.
Did you just take Google Maps and draw a circle at 80 miles
so I
and
didn't
see if it
this.
intersected a body of water?
I didn't discover this. My friend Colin did, who's a legit music producer in Nashville. And it's all the Berkeley stuff. So they just, the real story is that's a real country song. Except what happened was the producer and I think someone else, someone on the back band, not the whatever. The producer and someone else in the studio, after the artist had left, were let's just screw around. And so they took the vocal track off and they were we're going to do a new vocal track. Just sing. Just do it. And then they sent it around to a couple of their friends and it got so good that they published it. Everyone loved it so much that they published it. And so it's you can find it on Spotify. You can put it in your favorites. But.
So, Hernandez Jr. has decided that he's going to attempt to find me in all of Colorado.
Oh, don't play that game.
And I wish you good luck.
Yeah.
I live in an esoteric part of Colorado.
Well, I will say, walking to the Walmart today, where you live is beautiful.
It is really pretty.
And that is all the hint you will get.
They wanted to charge me $20 more for the other facing direction.
I thought about that.
View.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I'm not paying you $20 for that because this way is one, pretty, and two, cheaper.
Yeah.
And $20 a month is that's one liquid engine static fire per month. So for context, I build large solid rocket motors as well. And even when I mix my own propellant, it's about $400 per O motor. And I rarely make smaller than O motors. And for an equivalent liquid engine static fire, it's $45.
Right.
Which is just unreasonably good.
If you can close your eyes real tight at the setup cost, it's
Yeah.
easy to run it.
I have spent well over $6,000 on the liquid engine now. And when I started the YouTube channel, making YouTube videos, because I knew Joe had great success doing it, was living the dream. I'm I will pay for the liquid engine with my
Living the
YouTube
dream.
channel
Carbonated
and
milk.
just work for other people for my day job to pay for my life. And I have since discovered this is not how life works. I must pay large sums of money for the liquid engine that YouTube will sometimes cover a little bit of.
I do not think you could do a much larger project and have the same type of like situation on YouTube. Like the cost of my rockets is actually not that far off from like the AdSense that can offset it.
Mm-hmm.
So it works out. But I think if you like scale up to a liquid engine, you kind of have to already have inherited a shop or something for that to really work.
I mean, the mill I bought started at 18K, so that's already a big hole to dig out of.
That's not ideal.
No, but it's fun, right? Now you own a mill. Now any project is like within your purview, right? Like a mill can make basically any part.
Mm-hmm.
And like my liquid engine is not a small liquid engine. It's like there are several companies that currently fly liquid rocket engines smaller than my liquid rocket engine.
Let's think. Who is that?
I probably can't say. I'm probably under NDAs.
Okay, well I can figure it out. And you can say nothing. The Rutherford is much larger.
The Rutherford is larger than my engine.
Yes.
By like, there are 9 Rutherfords on an Electron.
Astra is what, like a quarter of the
A
Rutherford?
Rutherford is like 6 times the size of my engine.
Astra can't be far off, but you also are probably not, like, I am not going to allow you to comment on that.
Here's a funny story because the internet can't see my laptop. Wow, it is taking like significantly longer to close a window than I would have
Yeah,
expected.
your laptop is not the one streaming, and your laptop is having a lot of trouble. I hope this is still interesting for people to watch. Apparently we have like 65 people still here.
Wow, my laptop is just giving up on like minimizing windows. I was gonna show you like cool rocket stuff.
I'm not sure that's a good idea on the stream.
They can't see.
I think even still, it feels like, you know.
This is my glorious OneNote that has all of my useful notes.
Is this from today?
This one?
Did you select quick disconnects last night?
2:35 a.m.
Dude, you went to bed. You went to bed, and you also Facebook messaged me last night. You were like, I'm going to sleep. And then you messaged me, and you were like, let me think about all of these other things about this project.
You probably shouldn't say anything about that.
And then you selected a quick disconnect. Which, again, there's no need for that.
So, for the record, and this is like the least satisfying answer ever, Joe's in a situation where he needs to select a quick disconnect.
Yes.
And I have opinions on this, and I'm offering them. And Joe needs to select several other things. And I think he's working on that right now on the laptop that is streaming, so he can't be working on it right now.
We should stop doing this. Apart from, like...
It's
apart
funny,
from, like,
it's a meme.
It is a meme. You can take your guesses, and I promise you, nobody's getting it right.
I've got the chat back up. Is it close to the size of the engines
Do
on the
you
Black
agree?
Arrow rocket? I actually don't know what the thrust was on the Black Arrow rocket.
There were
There
eight
were
engines.
there were
No.
8 engines on the first stage.
Yes.
I don't know how heavy it was though, so I don't know what its thrust was.
But there were not actually 8 engines. I think it was like one or... Like, it was... There were multiple chambers per engine.
I think
We're
it
not
was
able
no. See, the thing was, it was an HTP engine, so it was like they were like considering the tank system an engine and not like the engine in an engine.
Yeah, okay. Is there more pasta available?
There is more. There's a lot more pasta available,
I'm
and there's
gonna
actually
have
more
some of
chicken available too if you think you can survive the flour.
braving it.
We can see the reflection in your eyes. They think they know what's about to happen. Well, if you saw the name Cataclysm, I'm sure you have a great idea of what is about to happen. Do you think that gives anything away? I don't think that gives anything away.
Charlie, you gave away way more than I was anticipating you would.
Oh, well, I'm drunk. Sorry.
Yeah.
Should take away my alcohol.
I'm gonna take a half of one of these chickens.
No, Jefferson, I did not get a Tormach. I got a used 1980s VF1 from Haas. And that is entirely because I have a great deal of respect for the Haas name, and I already knew how to use one of their machines. Joe is doing a hybrid. Vinfast, I know for a fact you are wrong. I would not let Joe do a hybrid. If Joe tried to do a hybrid...
Dude, someone quoted you. Ellis Langford of Estes, the CEO of Estes, scooped your quote back to you, 2 days ago, right?
We were chatting with Ellis Langford at Narcon.
To be clear, this is no shade at all. He's a very nice guy.
He's an excellent guy. And just we were talking, and he says, yeah, a hybrid. It's the worst part of solids, the worst part of liquids at the same time. And I'm like, wait, I said that 4 years ago. Am I going to reveal the secret of that video? I'm not going to, so the internet has to remain in suspense. I said that 4 years ago on a video on the internet, on Joe's channel. I think that might have been the first time.
The propulsion types for landing model rockets.
Yeah, I think that might have been. So I ran a YouTube channel briefly when I was on the KSP dev team and a mod team for KSP. And I have since hidden all of those videos. So if you are one of my really old subscriber who's been subscribed to me for now almost 9 years, you should not ever disclose the secrets of those videos.
The answer, though, the long-range answer, is that I'm not doing a hybrid. So your guess is incorrect. We will happily entertain other guesses, because I'm still sure.
Can we get Joe and Charlie doing field sobriety tests? I will save you the trouble. I will fail them.
Yeah, we can.
That wine was. Whoever voted 3 in the chat.
It's a thumbs up.
It's a thumbs up. It's a solid thumbs up.
I always try to think during these streams if this is something I would watch, and I honestly don't know if I would. For some of the BPS streams, I definitely would. But I'm not sure if I would watch other people eat.
Hernandez Jr. would like us to do a full flow stage combustion engine.
Hernandez, if you would like to fund that, we will happily do it.
I agree with
Charlie
that.
will happily do it, and I will happily watch and film.
All right, what is the cheapest I think I could do a full flow stage combustion engine for? I need a minimum of 7 3D prints, each one of which is probably a minimum of 3K.
No, PLA is way cheaper than that.
I'm not sure if PLA will survive the environments I am thinking of.
All right, you need 7 3D prints.
I know you were on a FRC team when you were younger. Anyway, you could say what team it was. I was not on an FRC team. Were you on an FRC team?
2888. 2888.
Joe was on an FRC team.
It's gone now, which is really disappointing.
I was a debater in high school, so I talked for my street cred in high school, if you can believe that. That shouldn't be surprising to anybody watching this stream.
Charlie, as I have it, as I understand, it was a very good debater, too.
I was relatively successful in my endeavors. And by relatively successful, I think I was undefeated my senior year, which was fun. My sister was my colleague in debate, which was fun, because we actually did not get along at all before debate. And then my freshman year of high school, we decided that winning was fun. And previously, all of our disagreements had been that we were the sibling that had wanted to win. And then now that we were competing against people other than siblings, we had to win against not siblings. Mm-hmm. And we were okay dealing with our sibling to win against not siblings.
That was worth the greater good.
Which actually built a really close bond between us, and I was very, very lucky that she was able to come up to college in Boston as well. I was incredibly blessed to have that opportunity.
Thanks for the super chat, Eric, by the way. Eric, stop donating money. You were so nice and so... we so appreciate it, but
We're just friends cooking dinner, man.
I'm not sure it deserves the super chats.
Charlie, were I the master? No, I was not the master debater. I was, however, the second speaker, which, if you're a debate person, means something to you. If you're not a debate person, means nothing to you. I was the 2NC and the 2AC. But my sister was by far the more prepared debater. She could memorize her speech and give it incredibly eloquently.
I'm going to switch the subject here.
Yes.
I also just got a great piece of rosemary in my mouth, which was excellent.
I told you it's the rosemary, right?
It is.
You're eating much faster than me.
Matthew says, Joe Barnard... Yeah, so I'll talk for a little while. Joe Barnard, where did you get that shirt? This is from TJ Cooney, who runs the channel I Need More Space. And when he makes videos, I don't think has taken like an official sponsorship yet. They're very good videos. They're very in-depth. He is always sponsored by himself. So the merch helps support his channel, and I wanted to do that.
Joe wants to know if we can make a Merlin for under $30,000, and I think actually NDAs prohibit me from answering this.
And my own inability to do anything related to propulsion inhibits me from doing that as well. I could make a great model, but if it fired, it would only fire once, and it would fire for a remarkably short period of time.
Solid motor with cross feed. Joe, I'll let you answer this one.
Like asparagus staging with solid motors?
No.
The answer is no. That's pretty good. That's a good meme.
Is everything okay back in Nashville? The internet wants to know.
Okay, yeah, real talk. Everything is okay back in Nashville. I feel very lucky to have had myself and all of my friends be like really safe with the tornado. One of my friends lives like directly in the path, and I think she just like got really lucky that it wasn't on the ground at that point.
Mm-hmm.
But man, it's crazy. It was chaos the day after too, because like no stoplights worked, all of the power was out, so it's just you couldn't go anywhere. And that here's a lesson that maybe you can learn from me. If you have a presentation coming up, for instance, for a rocketry conference, and you think I'm going to dedicate 3 days to do a majority of this presentation. If one of those days a tornado has rolled through like 2 miles from your house the day before and ruined most of the infrastructure in your city, it makes it difficult to complete that presentation in 3 days. So don't do that.
Eric would like us to stop telling him what to do, which I will acquiesce to. Eric, do whatever the hell you want.
All right, yeah, do what you want, man.
But I sincerely hope your evening has improved since wherever it was when you felt the need to have us put an S in the chat for you, man.
Yeah. Have some wine, but maybe have some wine that's not
14.3%. Jesus. Woo! Kevin Regressive would like to say that he would buy the hell out of a BPS shirt. Joe, when can I buy a BPS shirt?
I told you about this in the car ride.
We had an 8-hour car ride to discuss exactly how negligent Joe is being about BPS shirts.
Here's the thing. I don't mean this as a flex, but it may come off that way. But I've had some wine, so I get an excuse. I get a pass. BPS could be so well funded if I just like gritted my teeth and went on to any of the myriad options of sites where you can create merchandise. And I think this is a testament to how much I just don't care about that and care only about rockets, that I just cannot. Here's another example. Do you know that I own a crab suit, a full body crab suit?
No, I did not know that. Actually, I did not want to know that.
I own a full body crab suit because I told the patrons in September, I have known this for a long time, that I need to do BPS merch. It's not hard to do. It's something that can be done in basically like a day.
This chicken is really good.
Yeah, it is really good. And I told them if I don't do it by this date, I have to do whatever you tell me. And they all coalesced together on one punishment, which was you have to purchase this crab suit. And it is a full body crab suit. It's on, I think, my Twitter account somewhere.
Judy would like us to notice her senpai. And
who is senpai?
I actually was thinking that's the discussion here is we have noticed her. Now, which one of us is senpai?
The real senpai is the friends we made along the way.
I agree. I think this is true. Did you do anything aerospace related in high school?
Me?
Yeah.
I did first robotics, and I flew a couple of model rockets. There's like at least one video of model rockets on this channel. I think 2 or 3. But not not really. And I didn't when I had to decide where to go to college, I was in the state of mind that was like, I'm doing music. Like, I'm going to become a music producer or whatever. And so I just didn't look at a single engineering college.
I was a Space Museum tour guide, so the answer to that is yes.
Yeah, it's a hard yes from Charlie and a hard no from me.
Joe and Charlie, keep with the great videos. Love y'all's stuff. Joe, how did you land Sprite? And Charlie, how can I build a cheap and easy rocket engine? I'll answer first, no.
The answer to let me ask you that question again. How can I build a cheap and easy liquid rocket engine?
Any rocket engine, actually. I'll take the answer. So rocket engines get cheaper and easier the more you know and the more you abuse the things in ways that you're not supposed to. So for example, the kegs. This keg that I have. The first liquid rocket engine I built, and the second liquid rocket engine I built, and also the third liquid rocket engine I built, I would not have felt comfortable using a keg. I would not have known enough to know what the dangers would be, and I would not have known enough to know what I had to change to make it successful. And it is only now that I have built several liquid rocket engines, and I'm doing it again for posterity and YouTube, that I felt comfortable enough to say, like, my budget is this, my performance parameters are this, I can abuse this shape of material made from this particular material in this way to get the following performance, and I am okay with the decisions I am making. I understand how this will affect me, and I am comfortable making the decision to accept this risk. And that comes from experience. So your first rocket engine will not be cheap. Your first rocket engine will not be good.
Can you, real quick, address, before you move on from that point, can you address I think this is a harsh way to say it, but the Dunning-Kruger effect, in that you understand the risks and you're willing to make these decisions. However, someone who has very little experience in getting started here might also anticipate that they understand the risks.
So I Dunning-Kruger the Dunning-Kruger effect. My freshman year, I'm like, I know nothing. I am a freshman in engineering school. I know nothing. I will humbly accept that I know nothing. And then my sophomore year, I promptly decided that I was a sophomore now and I knew something.
Right. Sophomore, literally, like the word means that you don't know things. Yes.
And so I promptly designed a liquid rocket engine to launch a rocket to space that ran on liquid methane and liquid oxygen, and was like, I am going to build this in 8 months for $1,000 and I will be very successful.
Yeah, no problem.
And unsurprisingly, I was not successful with that engine. But a very good friend of mine who is a grad student at MIT took pity on me and, 1, recommended me to a job at SpaceX, and 2, helped me build a liquid rocket engine that summer. And we worked together, and I was the grease monkey who spent a lot of time making parts, and he directed my wisdom when I was about to do something really stupid, and it was very successful, and by very successful, I mean it was horribly dangerous to operate, but it worked. And that was the start of a journey. And then after that, I just was more aware of what I didn't know. And even with these tanks, I'm aware of what I don't know. I'm acutely aware of what I don't know. But I have a plan for how I can work through what I don't know in a safe fashion. And I think that's the takeaway. Okay, yeah. We've been on this topic a long time.
Joe Wakefield said, we had the merch team. Oh, Joe is right. Oh, no. He is right. What is that noise?
I don't know. I have no idea.
There's a lot of strange noises in your place. I assembled a merch team, and they put things together that this is what makes it about 10 times worse. And they put a plan together, and they got things prepared to help me.
You gotta get your act together, man.
It's bad.
It's bad.
And I feel bad.
You should.
You know that meme that's you're bad and you should feel bad?
You do.
Yes.
Judy, will humanity ever have nuclear rockets? I'm not sure on the answer to that, but I will give my 2 cents on it, which is that I think nuclear rockets have actually missed their heyday. Because In the 1960s, nuclear rockets were the highest performing rocket we could possibly imagine. Like, their ISP of 900 to 1100 seconds just blew everything else on the water. It was straight up twice as high as the next best rocket engine ever. But the thing is now, we have Hall effect thrusters and ion engines that regularly hit ISPs of 1800, 3000, 3800 seconds.
Yeah.
So if you really need the high performance, you don't need a liquid engine. And if you really need the high thrust, you really want a chemical engine. And I'm just not convinced that the story will ever make sense for nuclear thermal rockets again. Nuclear electric propulsion, definitely. I think Vasimir is gaining maturity every day and likely to be very successful. But I think that nuclear thermal rockets are likely probably not going to ever fly just because I think they missed the boat. I think when they were likely to be most successful, they did not finish developing them. And then now we have alternatives that are superior in performance with much lower regulatory burdens, and so there's no incentive to do nuclear rockets.
Speaking as someone who is well-versed in the subject matter, I really do think we should all move over to staged F-15 motors from Estes.
Eric, I'm glad your evening has improved. And you didn't pull the trigger on the remove before flight tags.
On the what?
Do you have a remove before flight? Wait, why do I not have a BPS remove before flight tag, Joe? I feel betrayed.
Welcome to the BPS shame stream, where it is slowly and methodically realized.
I'm on your side, y'all. I'm convincing Joe to fix this.
I promise. It's on a fundamental level, it is a good thing, but also on a fundamental level, so much of BPS could be like more quickly advanced because of this. What does the incentive have to be? Can we come up with some ideas in the chat? Let's answer like one more question and then scroll to the latest chat. And the new topic in the chat, I would like to know, what does the incentive have to be? What do I have to
Lots
commit
of crabs.
to so I can like just get it done? Like, you don't have to order merch. I just have to get it done so that you could if you wanted.
Are you storing locks in a homebrew keg? Yes.
I am not.
Joe, are you going to continue the RCS system?
Yes. Yes. I talked about this a little bit at the end of the recent video that I uploaded on the BPS channel, but that's like 15 minutes. So if you don't have time for that, it's cool.
The reaction control project was stopped because I realized, just as it was starting to look really good, because it was looking pretty good in the videos, I realized I had two major issues. One of them was the flow rate from the valves. I could only really get flow rates that I was comfortable with by doubling up on those valves. And that increases the weight of the vehicle to something that is just kind of like untenable. And the second thing, which is the more important reason, and the same reason that I canceled Echo, and that kind of why Falcon Heavy went offline, is my control software needed to go through a maturity spurt, which is to say that like a lot of the software that ran on my rockets was written 3 years ago now, and what I knew 3 years ago is a lot less than what I know today. So I put everything offline. I accepted like the hit in average views on videos and the hit in a lot of ways in service of like, from now on, the rockets will fly very well. And maybe they won't always do that, but I would hope that like the homework that I have put in results in a much higher success rate on average.
Joe is emailing me copies of the designs so I can bully you more.
Oh boy.
Okay, what else? Build the rocket of your dreams. I do that on a daily basis. I am so spoiled that I get to go to work and build rockets and come home and build rockets. And I used to work for SpaceX, which I absolutely love the opportunity I had to impact the future of humanity there, and I would love to go back there. But working in a much smaller environment, one, I get more sleep, which is a thing, believe it or not, and I can work on my own personal projects, which is fun, and definitely helping my development as a person. But two, I think that there's a lot to be said for the impact you can have in a smaller team.
That's a huge one. You have way more control.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nuclear rockets. Let's do Alcubierre drives. Tell you what, Hernandez Jr., if you know of either negative energy or a way to create infinitely long, infinitely massive cylinders, please let me know, and I will happily build you an Alcubierre drive. It will be excellent. All I need to know is either the existence of negative energy and how to generate it, or an infinitely long cylinder. Your choice. For those of you who are not familiar, the Alcubierre drive is a way to manipulate space-time such that you travel through space at subluminal velocities. But as a feature of you manipulating space-time, your apparent progress through space-time is actually faster than light. It's a cheeky way to get around the implications of general relativity.
I'm gonna make you disappointed.
What is this?
Are you done with
Yeah.
the thing that you were saying?
Yep.
This is something that is like ready.
Please,
Joe Wakefield.
why
has
are you
put-
not?
Joe Wakefield has put this in the chat, and I will put it in front of the camera here. But like, black and white, BPS space,
They can't see. You have to get it close. There you go. Now
remove
they can
before
see.
flight tags.
That's pretty cool.
That is a
Although
possibility.
I actually kind of think I want it to be a black tag with white fabric.
You know what? We can do that if I just like get with it.
I mean, so Joe has to fly out tomorrow morning. I can refuse to drive Joe to the airport until he puts these tags together.
It would be ideal if the camera would focus. Let me see if I can move it around, and that'll help. Oh, Joe Wakefield. It just did focus. How much work do I have to do? What are the steps that need to be accomplished for this to happen?
You take that JPEG and you submit it to that website. I ordered Rocket Team remove before flight tags from that
So
website.
it's truly like no
Yeah.
work. Yeah.
Joe, how do you got?
I got.
Okay. A lot of major aerospace companies have merch. If you're lumping either of us in, Joe more so than me, with major aerospace companies, I have the unfortunate position of telling you that you're wrong. Can you try making a model Starlink launch, Joe? That says Starlink, right? Yeah, it says Starlink.
Can I change that to Starship?
I think you should make a giant like Starship costume for Sprite to wear.
Yeah, that could work. If it okay.
Take foam board
There's a
and like
lot
spray
of-
paint it silver.
Yeah, there's a lot of mass to be regained on the current design of Sprite.
I won't volunteer you for anything because I need all of your attention on
Yeah.
other things.
On other things. Okay.
Arsenio wants you to have cursed pants.
Cursed pants? What are
At
cursed
Joe Wakefield, please email him the cursed pants.
The cursed pants. Is this in the Discord?
I do not know. I do not understand.
Can someone put the cursed pants in the Discord? Is this a bad thing? The Roomba knows where it is at all times. It knows this because it knows where it is. Someone has copied the entirety of the missile knows where it is, but replaced it with Roomba.
This is funny because I know who should know where the Roomba is.
I figured out that it is not who my first guess was.
It is not who your first guess was, but not for the reasons you think it was not who your first guess was. Assuming you were going off the recent tweets
tweet
of the
today.
missile. Yes.
Oh, okay, all right.
It has manipulated the facts and lied to you.
Okay. It's a deception tactic.
It is a deception tactic.
Everyone is trying to figure out who at the missile is on Twitter, and it's a good follow. I recommend following. Charlie knows who it is,
I have a big brain, the biggest of brains.
and he will not give it up. And honestly, I think it's good that he doesn't, even if I really want to know, because it spoils the magic.
For the good of humanity.
No one knows
I will
who the
stand on
missile is.
my ground.
All right, you want to do like a couple more, and then we'll see what's up. Do you want to do the KSP stuff?
I'm probably not good for a KS3 stream.
All right.
If you want to fly, you can.
No,
I'm too inebriated to successfully pilot.
I think we'll
A
have to call the
craft.
KSP stream sometime later this week when I'm home.
I will watch.
Yeah, Charlie will tune in.
Do I know of any high school aerospace internships? Yucca, I know SpaceX will very rarely hire high school interns.
Oh no, I know what these are.
The cursed pants?
Yeah. So Jared in the BPS Discord, when we were doing designs for merch in one of the channels on the Discord found out that you could make leggings with a custom print on them, and they made leggings with my face wrapped around the whole of the leggings.
I am far too inebriated to successfully parse this text.
Yeah, it's like a deep fried meme at this point. But anyway, the
I am
leggings.
blinking more than 1 hertz.
The best part is that the leggings are not like multiples of my face, so that you can actually understand what it is. The leggings are like my face if you were to stretch it to all of the exact dimensions of someone's lower half. So it is cursed. All right.
Let's go through a few more, and then we can. SpaceX or NASA? Cool, dude. You clearly don't know anything about SpaceX. If you think that is a question you could ask, like SpaceX would not exist if not for NASA. We inherited a ton of NASA technology, decades of NASA research. NASA funded SpaceX's initial program that allowed us to do all kinds of technology maturity. Like, I think any SpaceX person, current or past, will tell you, hands down, that NASA is one of the greatest forces for space exploration in the world. And if you view that as a dichotomy, I think that you need to explore what NASA really does for both SpaceX, Northrop Grumman, and other commercial players in the space sector. It truly cannot be overstated how much SpaceX, Northrop Grumman, Altium? Axiom.
Oh, Axiom. Oh,
Axiom and other space companies rely not just on NASA's funding, but on their ability to define interfaces, their willingness to transfer technology.
Your job relies on NASA contracts.
My job relies on
part.
NASA contracts. Yeah. It's truly remarkable how NASA has managed to spark a commercial revolution. Okay, now that I'm done pontificating on that, it's a giant space interest group looking at Charlie wearing the Everyday Astronaut shirt. I'm wearing an Everyday Astronaut shirt. Thank you, Tim, for the free shirt. It is actually very comfortable, and it came in a really cool silvery bag.
Yeah, all Tim stuff ships in like a cool removable.
Go buy more stuff from Tim.
Yeah.
And then tell him we sent you so he thinks we're cool.
Yeah, that's actually the most important part.
Do you have any high school space internships? We actually already answered that. SpaceX will hire you sometimes. I am not qualified to answer any other than that. My current place of employment requires you to be 18.
The most important thing you told me about it. So I've done the application basically once for SpaceX. Mm-hmm. But the thing that you told me when I was going through it is that you applied 3 times before you got in?
Only once.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
A lot of people go through it multiple times. Okay.
The acceptance rate for SpaceX internships is lower than the acceptance rate for MIT undergraduate degrees, which should tell you something about how many people apply for SpaceX internships and how incredible it is to have that opportunity.
This is maybe unique to me and other folks who build all of the aspects of their own rockets, but it was a little... I have nothing against SpaceX, but it was a little disappointing to learn that most of the jobs that you get at SpaceX, especially exclusively if you are going in without formerly working there, you're not going to be building the entire Falcon 9 rocket. And more likely, the jobs that I was applying for were all things that were adjacent to the Falcon 9, and you're going to design a cart that carries it, and that's cool. You get to work with cool rockets.
Well, the difference is, though, that, if you go work for Relativity or Astra or Orbex or Venture or any of the small sat companies I can name, and actually Rocket Labs has kind of recently fallen off the list, those companies are now, they are hiring people to do all the jobs that used to have one person doing the job of 10 people. And it got done 10% of the way, which was maybe enough to make it to orbit, but not enough to, run a company on. That is unsustainable. That engineer will burn out. That engineer cannot commit enough to make that solution work for a long time. That engineer does not have enough time to maintain that solution. So I think there's a lot to be said that as a company grows, you no longer have the luxury of being a full launch vehicle, a full stack launch vehicle engineer.
Which is your ultimate goal.
Which is my ultimate goal.
Yes.
Can you stage a solid rocket motor model rocket? Yes, you definitely can. Why doesn't anyone talk about Yule? Yule is awesome. I've met Tori Bruno. He's blown up one of my rocket motors. He's an awesome guy.
Yeah.
I don't want to risk being political here, but I feel bad for Tori Bruno. I feel like he's been hamstrung. I don't believe in smart reuse. I think that it's going to get its lunch eaten by Rocket Labs and SpaceX and Blue Origin that are actually using the rockets, but I wish them the best of success, and I hope it all works out for them. A bunch of really smart people, top-notch engineers.
Okay, and also some of like the finest like orbital injection parameters, like to what your target is.
I decline to comment.
All right, well, I think it's very good. And I don't have insider information.
Let's see. Any word on UX designer opportunities for NASA or SpaceX? Taylor, I know for a fact that SpaceX would hire UX people for its Dragon 2 program, and I encourage you to go to spacex.com/careers and see if they still have any UX positions open.
Phenomenally important job.
I think a phrase that I've said before and I will say again here is SpaceX is not for the faint of heart. If you are willing to work hard for a long time and make it your life, sign up and change the world.
CGP Grey has a good way of describing this, and I think he did it on Hello Internet or something. But it's like you have all of these light bulbs and a finite amount of power that you can give to each one of them. So you have like work, family, friends, life, like working out, health, stuff like that. And I think one of the things that you sort of sign on with SpaceX is like you dim many of the other light bulbs some percentage in order to work for them.
And I have no regrets.
Yeah.
They did not. I think some people have the impression that SpaceX like abuses its employees to like get this level of work out of them. That's not the case. Every decision, every effort, every ounce of effort I gave them was conscious and willful, and I did not regret any of it. And I will proudly like claim membership with that group for a long time, and I have no regrets. Pictures of me with Tori Bruno. I actually do, but I have to like go dig through old folders to find them.
It's probably not worth it.
It will not happen tonight.
Also, to be clear, Tori Bruno did not intentionally blow up your rocket motor.
No, so the story is I was testing a 3D printed plastic solid rocket motor, which was a bad idea, and the result of a drunken bet made with other engineers who also made a drunken bet. And it was wonderful. We made a rocket motor that had no metal in it. It had no graphite in it. It was all solid rocket fuel and plastic. And we managed to grossly irritate someone on the internet who thought we were like stealing his idea. I will say we did it better than them.
Oh, I know who that is.
Yeah. They were like really mad. And I'd just like to say that we got supersonic flow. They did not get supersonic flow. And therefore, I do not feel any shame in successfully completing their idea. Anyway, so we'd static fired this motor 5 times. And Tori Bruno had come to visit our team, and he came to say hi, and we had a static fire scheduled for that day. So we invited him to come and press the big red button to light the motor. So we had it all set up, and he just came down to our test cell, and of course, we did the countdown, he pushed the big red button, and it just exploded instantaneously. It blew up. And we were all mortified, because of course we worked very hard to make this motor. We talked it up. We were so proud of it. Like, it's all plastic. It works great. It like has a built-in ablative protective layer like printed in place. It's so cool. And the first thing he turns, he says, "Don't worry, I've been here before too. It's called the VIP effect. I'm sure your next test will be very successful." And it's so true. The next one worked fine. It was just the one that Tori Bruno pushed the button for that blew up.
Yeah.
Let's see. Should I build your own solid rocket motor? Andreas, only you can answer that question. You must be able to do it safely, and you must have the resources to devote to it. But if you do, go for it. It's a lot of fun. I watched CGP Grey. Yes, I have a Patreon of CGP Grey. I feel like throwing internet money at CGP Grey is one of the best uses of my money.
I don't think I am.
Even above building rocket engines.
I like his stuff. I just did not reach the Patreon level.
Joe, what motors do you plan to be in the side boosters of Sprint?
Oh god, this has really spiraled out of control. This morning I woke up and Rob from T0 was asking about Sprint. And I was like, yeah, here's a bunch of things. And like, I think we could probably add side boosters, like, because we have 3DOF control. So like, we have control over everything. If we have enough authority, we can just add side boosters and like forget that they impart torques. And then everyone wanted to know what the side boosters were. And I cannot overstate this. I have no idea. I have flown Sprint once, and the flight was extremely wiggly. So, one
step.
You're
going to fix that.
Yeah, no, I actually think it will be completely fixed by the next flight, and maybe I'll regret that. But.
Joe, have you considered using a drone to catch a rocket that is descending?
Yes. Carl Groover, who is my friend down in Nashville, who's a very good RC pilot, I think we're gonna try to beat Rocket Lab to it. I already know how to build the Electron model because I built one once, and even though the tubes are gone and the stuff is like trashed, I think we can do it. I don't think it's that hard, and he is a good enough pilot.
Those are famous last words.
All right, but he's a good enough pilot that I think he can offset what I cannot do in GNC.
Cool dude. Yes, it was a plastic rocket motor. Mark Forge published articles on it. MIT published articles on it.
This is the
JAXA published
video.
articles on it.
The video that you guys published on the MIT.
Yeah, I did a blog post on it. It's like way overblown. Like JAXA flew out like 3 engineers to talk to us, and like they emailed us beforehand, and we're like, "Yeah, sure, you could talk to us, but like, what are you expecting?" Like, we like got drunk, said, "What if we could 3D print a plastic rocket motor?" And then like woke up the next morning, and instead of being like, "Wow, that was a dumb idea," like sat down and did some math and decided that it might not be totally impossible. And then instead of once again wisely deciding to abandon the project as useless, we made it and fired it and uploaded the video, and like news websites caught on.
Yeah,
and,
you got a decent amount of publicity.
And what they should have said was, "Wow, this is both more expensive and heavier than normal rocket motors." But instead what they said was, "Someday it could be cheaper and lighter than normal rocket motors," which is a lie on 2 accounts.
I think if any tech newsletter covers something and uses the word someday, I think a wall should go up in your mind. A wall of skepticism.
Okay, let's see. Can Sprint carry Sprite? No, I think I could answer that with no.
No, but Sprite could likely carry Sprint.
That would be cool. I would watch that video.
Yeah.
That's like the end of interesting questions on the internet.
All right. Well,
I think this is about where really inebriated me and really inebriated you go find beds before we have to be up at an ungodly hour tomorrow morning.
that's probably about the right call. Well, I will say I think we had about the same amount of technical difficulty as we did for the first Cooking with Joey B. Because we had that whole fiasco where
The mics kept dying.
the mics kept dying, and also the video was delayed by like 2 or 3 seconds because we didn't set OBS up right.
It was much more than 2 or 3. It was like 2 or 3 minutes.
Yeah.
The latency was ridiculous.
Regardless,
In KMR, Sprint has flown. Like, that's a rocket that has done the thing.
it is a rocket that has done the thing, and can we look at the video again? Because, dang. That roll control controlled the roll. Yes. Hold on. I'm gonna put it up to the camera. This is worth it. I promise.
There's nothing that could go wrong with this idea.
I promise this is worth it. I'm not going to knock over the keg. Okay, look at this. This is the camera looking down into the... Oh boy, the Discord notifications are coming in. It's looking down. Look at the... Okay, well, whatever. There's no roll, and then when the roll control turns off, there's Jared. Okay, I'm going to take this away. I'm going to take this away before I regret it. All right, we should end this because I'm not really getting less inebriated.
I will say, thank you to everyone who tuned in, and this was a ton of fun.
Yeah.
It is always great to have Joe here in Colorado. We should do this more often.
And I'm also glad that the simple setup of like one webcam and a laptop worked out as good as it did, or as well as it did, because I was a little bit worried that like not having multiple webcams set up all over the kitchen was going to work well.
This worked well.
Yeah, it did.
All right, I think that is me. Hi, I'm Charlie Garcia, signing off.
I'm Joey B. Yes.
Do we have an ending for this, like a catchphrase? Good luck and Godspeed.
No, that's yours. What about like
May your winds be low and your...
It has to be all cooking related.
Oh.
May your
oven be hot and your chicken be cooked.
There it is.
You heard it here, ladies and gentlemen. We will catch you next time on Cooking with Joey B and Charlie G.
All right. Here we go. Goodbye.